capable of upsets, of big wins like this, occasionally throughout the season, even if they can't find the consistency. But here we go. They have made the swap. Mimi was talking about it. JCZ, he's a duelist main in the past. Can he bring it on the Neon today?
A much faster pace with this composition, of course. Util's setup, though, is very defensive. It's set up to try and deny any sort of plant that goes down onto this A side.
They didn't break it.
Oh, across the rope, someone's hiding. Chosen. Man of the hour. Subbing for them, jump spotted out. No one clear in the corner. And they strike back. MIBR. Ripping them away. The hopes and dreams of winning a pistol round. Good night. That is absolutely flawless.
Well, there we go. MIBR come out with a statement on the pistol round. 100 Thieves had gone for their classic aggressive defensive play on the pistol. They'd pushed out Arcade, and then they made a boom esports kind of play, and all just hopped on the rope, zipping their way down to the south side, an area that they had not owned or scouted, and Chosen's just there hiding behind the box.
It's always a massive risk, but, well, one that they were ready for.
And hey, what a beginning.
Yeah, what a start. It's always the way, isn't it? These teams that are playing spoiler, MIBR, had a rough split, a lot of internal difficulties, disagreements between Heat and Bazooka. That's what it's all being alluded to, at least, as well. But now an opportunity to get some redemption at the end of the split as well. If you can get a win here against 100 Thieves, deny them that chance in playoffs. And, you know, listen, all the EG fans would be happy with that one.
Yeah, these kind of games towards the end, you're just playing for spoiler.
Yep.
You're just thinking, all right, we're going down, we're going to take 100 Thieves with us. It's pure spite. You're fueled
really
by
is.
spite.
Yeah. I mean, Asuna as well was discussing little pieces that we were hearing from him just before this game in the interview about, you know, listen, MIBR, they can hit hard.
Yeah.
And
I think the quote was, they're hit or miss, and I hope they don't hit us.
Exactly. But 100 Thieves, obviously understanding you just got to hit them back that much harder. So heading into it now, a lot of importance on this round in particular. The bonus for MIBR, they've been relatively healthy with the economy. Rifle, and a Chosen, fast with the fast lane.
I love how much
these
pressure.
sides.
I love the pressure that JCC's putting on them in A here. 100 Thieves just forced to go for the full retake, and with nobody towards Dish or Halls, they're all coming from defender's spawn.
It's all about how you clear out. FRC, there it is. First kills found there with Cryo, leading the charge of his team. Flash in his face, quick reactions with the dodge right to the side. The rest of his team backing him up, holding the angles, making sure that there's all that coverage. Spike not even planted in the midst of all of this one. 1 versus 3, damage done. Players are weak here, but doubled up. It's a 3-2-1. Got a little bit dicey, didn't it?
Yeah, that is close. And that's actually quite a bit of damage done. Remember, that's just a bonus there from MIBR. They've still got all of the economy they need to full buy up. But it hasn't done too much damage to 100 Thieves either. A lot of these teams are super happy just running with the light armor strategy. Really takes a lot of the weight out of the bonus round.
Enemy spotted.
But still, a great try from Murris towards the end.
Yeah.
Little shake of the head there from Derek. 100 Thieves are going to be really aggressive on this defense side. We've seen it from them almost every time they play Fracture. And RGL just takes ahead instantly. Cryo with no utility. They were just going for a contact walk. And speaking of contacting, that's exactly what MIBR are doing towards Stella.
Turret down.
Turret's going to be spotting that, though, so... Ball's compromised. A peek from Stella. Trying to show a bit of confidence to spray through. One stray bullet will connect. But it's just that 1-for-1 it was traded, so... Sight's going to be theirs, and still a player advantage in the hands of MIBR.
And this is where 100 Thieves would love to, in previous times that we've seen them play on Fracture, flank and be coming from Halls and coming from Dish, and really threatening an ambush in the retake. Instead, both of these retakes that we've seen in the last couple of rounds have been coming purely from spawn.
Fracture's a map where you need to have some control, or at least denying different areas of the post plant. Flash around the back there, dodged, juked. A clean fight, that's what MIBR looking for right now. FRZ is going to be the first one to find it. There you go, kill, found, fault line, stun, dodge, then still watching. 100 Thieves though, now you're feeling it. The heat as the molly explodes, Nano Swarm, the extra layers to it, and just like that, you have to give up any hope, any chance of winning a round.
So far, so good for MIBR. starting out with RGL decapitating Cryo on tree, and that just gives them the player advantage that they're able to snowball in. Most of the time, you're not really going to be able to stand your ground against 100 Thieves pushing. But RGL, no fear.
I mean, literally
One tap.
containing. But no util to set up Cryo there. He thought he could just walk up onto the angle.
And I appreciate the confidence, because Cryo at the beginning of the season, he wasn't really going for shots like that, and he's got the skill to. So I definitely appreciate that element of it. But at the moment, MIBR look like they're in fierce form individually.
No fear.
This way.
All line stun, connects up into tower there. JCZ just looking for an opportunity now to clear this one out. Still a singular player, that's Stella. He's removed, he's taken care of. There's a bit of danger still behind this one. Flash through, Shorty. Bang finds it. Rolling Thunder committed into the spawn though, and this is an attempt from MIBR. Trying to pounce on it, or at least buy a bit of time. It does stave off that aggression.
JCZ actually found himself there with a ball that stopped himself from pushing off the back of the breach ultimate.
Yeah, Cryo with the updraft there as well. He whacked his head. He might have been able to spot FRZ. Doesn't matter though, he will still fall. That's Derek taking that angle and contact, but again, no control of main or arcade. Both players playing slow. JCZ knows he can just play his life here. They should have utility to stall this out yet again. Turret, first contact chosen, but again, Cryo, he wins out his fight. A tap onto the spike to try and force it out. Asuna holding it. Another 1-1 down to that one-on-one attack. It's the Aura Strike. It was just Earth. Damage is done there, but again, has the time been bought? Cryo, he can't play it. He can't stick it. He did such good work, but not enough. MIBR, 4-1 this early on in Fracture. 100 Thieves map pick.
And it's the same kind of story again, Brent. The 100 Thieves retake, all coming from the same direction. They don't have arcade, they don't have tree. Every one of these retakes has been worse because the early round has seen no aggression from them, or at least no aggression that they can get away with. The superior pace coming out from JCZ's Neon means that 100 Thieves don't have time to go for these big wraparound flanks that help their retake strategy. And despite the heroics of that man there, RGL Meister's actually the player that is winning this map for MIBR.
A very vital kill that he got. I mean, listen, both of those rounds back to back, I believe.
Yeah.
One at the beginning on Cryo, and then was it Asuna? Or?
Yeah, he grabs that kill on Asuna with the wide swing in just that battle between Canteen and Arcade. Yeah. And that gets his orbital strike online. And so much of this game in the early rounds is about having a good start to feed your ult economy so that you can make plays like that. And Bang's going to have his own, Stella's got a lockdown, but that's for the next round.
Yeah.
That's not for the important swings. Mike's going to have a talk to the rest of the squad here on 100 Thieves to right the ship early. And they're going for Cryo picking up an operator. This another heavy theme of 100 Thieves defense on Fracture. The first 6 rounds, they really like to play aggressive and shove it down the opponent team's throats. That strat has failed. And normally that conditions teams into being a bit more passive, and it sets up Cryo to have a lot of success with the operator. But without that prior conditioning, MIBR are just going to be running at him. And so Cryo's going to have a more difficult job here. I mean, look at where they're ready to set up. JCZ looks like he's galloping like a horse
going to run him down.
Cryo.
And the stun as well is going to push Cryo into a really far back position. But, okay, they temper it. Just that quick burst of the util to push off the common angle. And now starting to explore towards the tunnel, re-clearing maybe towards arcade.
It's pretty interesting there. Chosen takes the rope, just as the rest of MIBR are coming up under the tunnel, seeing if they can bait some kind of push from those arcade players.
They use the Trailblazer there. It does spot that turret. That needs to be broken to have any threat. The turret contact, that's an orbital strike. They try to make a play off of it with the stun as well. It's a cutesy idea. You got to respect it from 100 Thieves, but a lot invested. Fast lane up in his face, stuns as well. Cryo can't take an easy fight, can't take the easy shot. Spray through the box. No bullets really connecting there, but Cryo's in a bit of danger. Has to back away for the heal.
And this time 100 Thieves retake does have a Halls push. That 3-person play, the trap play that they had off the orbital strike, has set up Derek and Stella to flash.
Right, flash through the box. Be fighting for this one. MIBR understanding the importance of holding on to this space. 100 Thieves winning their duels out though still. Derek alive, not for much longer. FRC wins it, maintaining control of that main position, but already 100 Thieves have regained the site. Sticking through onto the diffuser, smoke in his face. It's going to be the retake, a successful one at that. part of the reason because of what you were saying, Josh, you know, that prior push out of halls, that threatening of the one area towards main, it allows the rest of the team to just get in.
Look how much of a difference that makes. Even when the flank fails, it pulls away enough of the MIBR players that the 100 Thieves people from spawn get space and are able to get on the spike in much more favorable positions and control these angles. This is the entire way that 100 Thieves have been winning with their retake strategy, and they just couldn't execute it at the beginning with how fast MIBR were and some of the shots that they were hitting. Now MIBR dropped down onto an eco, and we're looking at a big clash at Dish. Cryo with an op here.
Oh, what? What?
Insane.
No way. Wallbang through it. And it has to be a response here. 100 Thieves immediately pushing out through Arcade. 3 of the players chasing down at the heels of MIBR, but they're not wasting time. They want to take up the space. Seekers as well. That's peace of mind gained as well, knowing that nobody else is going to be close onto the site, so the plant will get down without too many problems. Chosen, you might be dying there if you're trying to contact, but
RGL
okay, it's fast. Yeah, RGL could not plant with the Rolling Thunder coming through. It's covered. Where is Jason picking up these kills? Denied the ace though. Cryo still in the fight. Last line for them though, with the operator in a 1v3, knows he has to give this one up.
And so just like that, MIBR take the sour moment of having to eco and turn it into absolute magic. JZZ pulls those kills out of nowhere from the very first Sheriff wallbang spam into a 3K where he'd repositioned up. It's so intelligent.
Yeah.
He gets the read on that triple flank happening from, you know, RGL peeking in and FRZ going down, and all of that info feeds into him repositioning up towards the rafters and spraying them down as they try and enter the site. What a round from JZZ.
Just when you think 100 Thieves are getting control of the situation again.
Block the enemy's
on
line
that
of sight.
pick.
Once they're blind,
Stolen away in the blink of an eye with a thrifty win.
And it feels like actually the 100 Thieves are getting able to execute their game plan at this point. It's just that the individual brilliance from MIBR is back out to play. It does at the moment feel reminiscent of the beginning of the season for them. And here's that series of kills from JZZ. Look, he repositions rafters and just sprays them all down. Why would 100 Thieves be pre-aiming this area? They expect everyone to be in sight.
Already skipping a couple of the seconds here at the beginning of the round, getting right into it. Fast play towards Dish. Again, the fast lane is propped up across the site. We're not wasting time. Flash deep, Cryo, shot. It's there. Dash is still active. And look at this response. Containing this time, fighting. Flooding in, making sure that there's no easy task of getting into the site. Now to ensure that it doesn't fall to pieces. The hard work is done. But there's that crossfire setup. Fuzzy doesn't know if they're being pushed. That's a lovely disciplined play. 100 Thieves calling it down as well with a double face and a double swing just to make sure that they could clear out halls.
So an adaptation. This is the first round where we've seen 100 Thieves try to flood and defend by stacking bodies on the site to deny the plant or deny the exec rather than playing retake. And that, I think, is a conscious call, you know, maybe from Stella, maybe from one of the other players on the team, to adapt to how one-dimensional MIBR have been with these hits. When the Neon is execing, it's an
30
exec.
seconds left.
There's no faking it. Sure, there's been a bit of quietness at the start of the rounds, but if you hear those Neon footsteps and you see a wall, you know that the site hit is coming through. And 100 Thieves had 4 players there ready to collect. So at this point, if MIBR get the read on that, and they should be able to, you know, they should realize that there was 3-4 players there waiting for them on site. Then now you can start layering in a couple of fakes. Now you can start messing with 100 Thieves if they're going to over-rotate. And it becomes a big mind game from here on out for the next 4 rounds and a half.
Groundwork is there. Throwing in the fakes with Neon. We've seen it a couple of times. I mean, Neon's been played on this map for months and months now, honestly.
Yeah, such a long time.
Quite some time. You know what to expect usually, but for 100 Thieves, it's signs of life returning back to that form. And the form was good when they played against Furia. It's almost like, you know, what we've been expecting from this team, the caliber of all the individual talent. It came together with that win to keep their dream of making the playoffs alive. But one last hurdle that they're facing right now. They got to win against MIBR to stand a chance. Cryo. Oh, they are really meeting him. FRC with the util in his hands. Stun ripped across. No time
Here we go.
to waste. Jason aftershock in his face. That is so damn brave. Almost mistiming it. I'm surprised he didn't die.
I mean, massively mistiming it. He took 2 pulses of the aftershock there. And I thought after they got the return pick, that might be time to slow it down. You saw MIBR starting Contacty to try and throw 100 Thieves off, but now they're just making a mad pivot. In a player disadvantage situation, 100 Thieves very proactively clear out A-halls, throw the lockdown. MIBR can't do anything here. They've just got to wait.
Wow.
Boris is getting flanked already.
And it's a triple push out. You know, as soon as one player has to evacuate that area, playing outside the ring of the detainment.
And this looks like really nice adaptation at this point from 100 Thieves. They're getting the read on where to stack. And then they're being very quick. And I think at any point here, if MIBR just slowed the pace down, they might be able to catch the
30
preemptive
seconds
action
left.
from 100 Thieves. But that's not really the style that MIBR have come in with today. They're going to go for this. They're going to try and make it work in the 2v4.
Oh, fight to be faced. Chosen doesn't really know which way to look. RGL, a little bit too much to do, honestly. Finds the first, gets a second.
He's on
Nice
point
try.
today.
Yeah, nice try, nevertheless, but he will not be winning that round out. And some minor celebration there. Plenty of time to stick to the fuse here and talk about what you want to approach into the next few rounds. But it's, look, I mean, at this point, getting salvaged by 100 Thieves. They've definitely found the adaptations. It's up to MIBR now to see if they can counteract it.
And look at Cryo here. He goes out on quite a deep angle there, which grabs him a kill. But MIBR definitely had an opportunity to just slow things down. And JCC, a bit too active, a bit too determined to just shove it into A. He was incredibly weak from the aftershock before he even peaked. Some big ults to work with, orbital strike and a lockdown. If you wanted to slow the pace down, those are very good ultimates to do so. Good to punish, good to take space for free without having to battle. But this looks like it's fast through sands. We saw a fault line early in this area too. Aslan's aware of it.
Yeah, it's Aslan going to be the first contact here with this fight. Yeah, crouched up onto the angle, spots it, sprays it, doesn't get the kill.
Close though.
Trailblazer in his hands now, trying to re-clear them out. But as that lockdown being used, this is really going to start to spread back 100 Thieves. That orbital strike getting used, that is interesting.
Yeah, that's a bit bizarre. I mean, that was an area that you were already getting from the lockdown anyway.
It was used early enough with the timing that I think they anticipated that somebody was going to be exiting there and it was going to be a free kill, but...
Okay, but now they don't have any post-ban utility. There's no Brim Molly, there's no Orbital Strike. Chosen's got 2 nanoswarms that aren't even on the plant.
It's a hell of a gamble to be taking here. That's a wide swing though. It's clearing out Cryo, and there's no containment of these kills. It's all MIBR. The feed lit up, and it's a crossfire.
1 enemy remaining.
They can take their fights, pick the timings, because they know the time pressure is all on 100 Thieves. A round win for them, so not punished for the misuse. They have that orbital strike.
And also, Chosen just Chad Killjoy gameplay.
Yeah, he was not afraid to take that swing, was he?
Who needs to put nanoswarms on the spike? We'll just fight the flanker and then fight the people through door as well. His first contact there with a wide swing that throws off Cryo and then also picks off Derek, who tries to trade. And that's the gambit that 100 Thieves go for. Trying to pinch the players in halls with the orbital strike and the push through door, and it failed. It failed.
Go, go, go.
Now the economy weak. Round 11. 100 Thieves, this was their map pick. This is where they were expecting to surge ahead. Remember, it's Pearl coming up next. A map they haven't got a win on all season long.
It was looking rough. Fights, that is just everything being thrown at Stella up top into the high ground of Tower. An adaptation, a reaction from 100 Thieves. They look to try and take the fight to them. They are swarming a position, but it's clinical. MIBR now really leading, looking to that final round here of the first half.
These rounds are over so quickly.
Yeah,
Both teams are playing with such a high tempo.
Feels like we started casting 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, we could be going 3 maps and we'll be out of here in an hour. It's ridiculous. And most of this is being driven by MIBR, but also 100 Thieves are trying to counter them by matching with a similar level of pace. And 100 Thieves themselves like to play aggressively on this map on defense side.
And it's just been decided within the first 30 seconds.
Cryo has another op. And this looks like a slower round. So this is what MIBR were doing when the pace was going down a little bit. They used the Trailblazer and the turret to take A. JZZ, who was throwing a stun in this area.
Oh, well,
Okay.
you thought it was going to be slow. Not quite.
No, they just go for it again.
Oh, like stun, Stella. Wasn't caught with that one.
I've
He can
got
still
your
fire off
trail.
and rattle off all those bullets to take out JZZ. Updraft now. Cryo with the Blade Storm. Dash still alive and active in his hands. Someone needs to deal with these Seekers, though. Pop flash around the side. Stella blind as a back close to the corner. No one clears it. They are rattled and taken out.
FRC.
I mean,
He didn't even need to kill a couple of them there.
when did we start this cast? It's 8-4. It's the first half done.
It's over in the blink of an eye, isn't it? And for 100 Thieves, they will be reeling, sat on the stage, on their map pick, getting bodied by a team that has been in free fall recently. MIBR currently, they've lost 10 maps in a row. They've only had one single map where they got more.
And a quick bit of broadcast mathematics as well for how quickly we are getting into this one. Each round, if you detract the freeze time, is under a minute.
Yeah. These rounds have been averaging under a minute. You start with 1:40 on the clock, and these teams are getting it over and done with in less than a minute of gameplay on average in that first half.
And
it looks faster here.
Again, it's just a brawl.
Spike
A
down
skirmish to
B.
take place, but this time 100 Thieves, they do punch back. Not willing to sit down and lose the fight. Contacting though through. That's a double face from MIBR. Seem to be aware of that one. Stella hoping to capitalize as well off a bit of a distraction. And 100 Thieves now left with just 2 players for this pistol round. Cryo and Derek. And my oh my, what an important pistol round it is.
Wherever they go on the map, they're going to be able to find favorable fights. FRZ and RGL will be taking the 2v2. Chosen's actually cheating away from his Killjoy utility here to try and match up with the others. And they're just gambling that this is going to end B. They are correct.
Interesting decision. I mean, neither player willing to sit still on the defensive side. They're not
No.
holding any angles. And yeah, Chosen forced to walk onto the angle to try and reclear and get some information. Cryo picks him off, so he turns it into a 2-on-2. Dash is there. Lance able to get off here, but it's that double reflank through main. Derek seems to anticipate it not coming from that direction.
that's
Dash
good.
forwards. Yeah, the reposition. Gets to safety now. Double played up, and what util do they have? A smoke. Dropped in their face. It's a face from Cryo before it could bloom, but no, he's taken out left up to Derek. A tap. Gets to 1, but wow, the return of the fire. RGL. Monstrous performance. 12-6, Josh, and he's won them another pistol round.
RGL. This guy was excellent in some of MIBR's opening games, and he looked like one of the dangerous players who you don't normally think of as a star, but will occasionally just turn up and deliver really big performances. And at the moment, even though he's not top of the scoreboard for his team, I feel like he's been having the most impact. JZZ's been driving the pace, but RGL's won so many crucial rounds to keep MIBR ahead and keep 100 Thieves reeling. They're at a 5-round deficit right now. Not going to force up, so likely a 6-round deficit as we creep towards 10-4. This is a rough start for 100 Thieves. And the EG fans,
Oh, yeah.
imagine what they're thinking at home. The EG players, too.
We're watching this match with glee so far. They needed MIBR to step up, to break into that top form that we know that they've been capable of, but who could have predicted it was going to happen here?
Yeah.
End of the line, end of the season.
The final match of the regular season. And both teams look like they want it done as quickly as possible.
Yeah, there's a full line off of the tap there. Onto the orb, a bit of a trap play. Chosen. Let's get the one backs away. Another punish was attempted by Stella, opposite end of the map, but he's taken out. Didn't quite have the gun for it. So at this point for 100 Thieves, just looking to see if you can get any picks. There's one. Trying to farm up these orbs as well. Pushing right through the smoke. Cryo not able to get
Spike
any
down
more
B.
additional damage. But Bang has earned himself a Spectre. There's one angle found, but dropped down to 30 health. He had the right idea of it. Lined up the shot for the re-swing. Couldn't quite hit it, though.
If you say one of my
MIBR went full investment in that round, perhaps anticipating the 100 Thieves may force because they had such a deficit. RGL's up to an early orbital strike. We saw that in the first half, him having huge impact from that. Oh. So MIBR now with another decent opportunity to convert a bonus.
Yeah.
If they can cook something up.
On the cusp of it, 100 Thieves.
This
Got a
could
rally
well
behind
be.
the support.
This could well be 100 Thieves season on the line. This map. You're going into Pearl next.
And it hasn't
been
looked
rough.
good. Yeah, it has not looked good. When they played it, they really were banking here on Fracture. Nice early map win to get themselves comfortable. Cryo over the top. He's going to be met face to face. Run and gun, run and fun. That's what Jason Ace says. But bang, he's there. Safe hands with 2 kills. A lot of damage done though. Multiple players of 100 Thieves. Derek and Bang backing away and actually getting that heal online with the smokes to obfuscate and hide their presence. And they've got good post-plant positions. 100 Thieves set up for a good win here, but it's going to be that re-clearance now towards Halls. Stella playing so passive, really far back, doesn't want to give his life. Asuna taking that first, not contact actually. Following up with the rest of his team, Stella. Great timing. As soon as that fight was there, passive with it, opens the door, confidence is there. Okay. Not losing the bonus, an important step forward. If you're really going to be telling any story of 100 Thieves coming back here.
And for 100 Thieves with their season on the line potentially on this first map, staring down their 5-round deficit, these are the kind of comebacks that make you feel like you absolutely deserved your spot in playoffs. I'm sure it's against MIBR, who've been struggling recently, but the form they're playing today is
I'm not
really quite good.
Listen, I'm not going to lie, when you play against teams that are playing spoiler with nothing to lose, I cannot count the amount of times where I've seen teams just play up to their potential.
Yeah.
In these final moments. Your last dying breath into the season, a chance of redemption. It always brings out the best in teams. And we're seeing it right here from MIBR.
That flash not quite bursting at the end from Asuna, so they don't have good information about whether somebody's around the corner, but grouping up with 4. And Chosen finds the first one, and now everybody else heading into the Killjoy utility. Cryo has been separated entirely.
And an orbital strike, why not? Driving that wedge ever so deeper. Cryo with the Seeker latching onto him. They know exactly where it was and pushing right through the smokes. They want to take the fight. Derek is the only one left standing. He has a spike in his hands. He has a minute on the clock, but it's not going to be handed any easy kills. Surely MIBR showcasing. They've got the discipline. Yeah, they call it down. Oh my! A nice try. A very, very nice try.
Incredible
The
shooting.
adjustments there with the spray. I mean,
Extraordinary spray control from Derek. But in a 1v4,
yeah,
too much to ask from him.
too much.
And a timeout taken here for 100 Thieves. I'll tell you who's also been putting in a sneaky good game. This guy, Chosen. His Killjoy setup there, perfect for how MIBR wanted to separate Cryo from the rest of the team. And not just that, he's winning a straight aim duel against Stella on the other side of things. If Chosen goes down there, the round may have fallen to pieces, because Cryo would get reinforcements in on site. You see Bazooka's reaction to the Derek spray control towards the end. All good. All good. And it is all smiles for MIBR. Why wouldn't it be? You know that your season's been a bit of a disaster at this point. It started out fairly well. We had some decent high hopes for MIBR, especially after they took down NRG. But this team went into a bit of free fall. Reported disagreements internally in terms of the direction of the team heading forwards. And now, you know, Bazooka's got a squad here that maybe he's going to have a bit more of a buy into his system moving forwards into the future. It's not like the roles are too crazy. Chosen picking up something new, but JCC's been a duelist for a while.
Yeah.
And I think it can just give that like fresh feeling to the team, knowing that everything's over, we start again.
Other end of this timeout. MIBR 1 step away from getting on that map point. They're playing aggressively towards Arcade. In the meantime, we are watching 100 Thieves as the Rolling Thunder cleaves its way through most of the A side. There's only one player sitting there, waiting there. This is a fake attempt. It's meant to draw rotations, but MIBR not taking the bait. In fact, they want to take the fight straight to main. For some reason, they've got the read.
Well, I think they were actually looking to go for a free A Halls reflank. They thought that this was a commitment into A, and they were looking to go all the way around instead of the retake. So now, both teams are in a bizarre situation. 100 Thieves return to Cryo as the lurk.
Oh, it's got the knives. Still maintaining control of Sands. MIBR, what can they do to try and retake this one?
They have really bad retake positions right now, and this is into Bang, who has his ult online.
Yeah, all from CT.
If Stella spots anybody here, they could ult off this. They're not going to. Just call for reinforcements through the door.
It's done. Trying to collide and collapse into it, but into the rifles, nevertheless. That's what we were mentioning. Post-plant positioning wasn't quite set up. You're all coming from the spawn area. You just get funneled into the crossfire setup. 100 Thieves are granted a great chance here. Of course they're going to strike. Of course they're going to land on it. So still alive in the map.
100 Thieves have actually looked really solid once they get the spike down on A. These structured post plants have been good, and MIBR are always coming from spawn. The issue, actually, for 100 Thieves has just been getting the spike down in the first place. We've been seeing MIBR play the defenses where they flood people into the site, or they halt them before they're, anywhere near. But if Stella can cook up a couple more fake ideas like that get them a free spike plant on A, I think this comeback might be doable. Last time we saw MIBR, though, on an eco, JZZ ripped. It was a ridiculous round from him.
He took over.
And this is not a team that's known for their eco success. They're normally really bad at them.
Good a player stacked over into where they're landing. Bit of information gathered from the Trailblazer. Cryo wants to be dashing into the side. Cuts it across aftershock. They're in the corner. Is there an attempt here? MIBR really surrounding them. In fact, they're holding the util in their hands, waiting for the tap of the spike. And there we go. Flash around the side. It's a glide into them. Over the strike, though. It was used in response to stave off the aggression for but a moment. But there are still 3 players alive, and this is starting to get spotty. Starting to get dangerous quite some time ago. Gradually, bit by bit, it's 100 Thieves losing their players and the advantage that they had. 2 of them left standing here to make the most of it, close to the corner. Weak. Not spammable on the angle, staying safe. So it will be that free plant.
You should run.
Without a lockdown, okay. MIBR forced now to take the fight straight to them. They're gonna know this one jumping into them. They don't have the guns for it, rifle. Flashed up, RGR Meister. Time is of the essence. He doesn't bring the lockdown. But surely there should be enough time on the other end of it. This should be a thrifty win for MIBR.
I think it is, yeah. They've got tons of time just coming out of the defuse here to stick and go up to map point. An absurd play again from RGL.
Clutch.
Who goes for that? Red Bull clutch for the Brazilian squad. Bryn, this team has been the worst in Americas for eco rounds, all split, and they have pulled out 2 of the most bonkers eco rounds that we've seen all year.
Yeah, what a time to do it.
And that's not for lack of practice. MIBR have been practicing their eco rounds this year too.
Had lots of chances.
They have had so many chances, but something about today has just fired this team up. 100 Thieves are staring as their playoff chances are down the drain.
That reminder again, it's a must-win match for 100 Thieves to make that playoffs. If they lose it, EG sail their way in into that top 6 spot.
Turrets destroyed.
For their map pick now, 12 to 6. Similar scenes to what we saw the other day, Josh.
Absolutely, and Cloud9 were able to bring that one back against Crew. Somehow, I think that was a once in a lifetime.
Oh, wow.
RGL has just looked so sharp. They have so many ults.
This is it.
There's the Rolling Thunder, Orbital Strike as well to try to deny.
And 100 Thieves have been slowed down to a crawl. A minute left. Player disadvantage. Moving forwards. It's an overdrive as a stun. It's all being offloaded into tower. It's Force Cry all the way back. And 100 Thieves, they could slow this down and take it in a different direction. I'm in the orb. At this point, the longer you take to make this decision of whether or not you want to go towards A or B, it's a cut noise. You're going to be landing on B. They are still sitting here. Stun as well. All the utility is being laid awkwardly. Orbital Strike! No way! Collapsed into him! 2 left standing. It would have to be a miracle.
Left.
Down to the final few seconds. Here is the tower. Fight needs to be won by Aston. He doesn't do it. No detainment. Swinging wide. 13 to 6.
And I think back to the stat that Dash brought up that I was talking about earlier too. They only won 1 out of 8 of their matches. They won the first map prior to this game. But it's not like they won all of them. It's not like they came back in all of those matches. All right, early clash as well. It feels like wherever 100 Thieves want to go, MIBR are also there. It was the same story on Fracture. Both of these teams fighting over the same pieces of map control.
Yeah, just a hard read. Adjustment with a free cam.
Gonna send our observers going loopy.
Yeah, backwards, forwards. But It's going to be that clash that's about to take place. You can tell.
Off the alarm
Players
bot.
stacked up alarm bot, and what is the play off it? It's just a wide swing. There's no util being used, and that might be to dire consequences. Indeed, it is for MIBR.
You're telling me you don't flash off that?
It's crazy.
They just swing?
They just swing. No
Okay.
util necessary. RGL lucky to get out of his life. Still, yeah, 26 health and backing away, but the back of the side going to be gained now for 100 Thieves. Getting that plant down all the way forwards. Cryo takes the fight. Chases A. Was hoping for the advantage there of timing. Bit of a surrounded attempt, but 100 Thieves making the call to reposition now towards the back of the site, all playing together. Not giving away any opportunity for MIBR to get back into this one. How weak RGL is. Yeah, not favored there. Patience with the shots from Murray's, but enough of the bodies alive for 100 Thieves. A pistol round win, absolutely huge for them.
Yeah, they lost both of them on Fracture, and that was part of the reason why that map was so one-sided. MIBR came out with a flawless to begin. But it really does feel like a different MIBR squad. They've broken a 10-map loss streak by winning there on Fracture, and they're looking to try and break an 8-match winning streak for North American teams versus South American teams recently, too. The NA squads have been dominant towards the end of the season, and MIBR would love to stop that. 100 Thieves need to dig deep. I mean, whatever kind of talk they were getting in the back from Mike's and the rest of the coaches, and then they need it.
Yeah, they need to step up. But a good beginning. Not giving anything away. Sometimes it does bite teams when you end up playing this cautiously against the eco round after winning the pistol.
But that's only if you end up going into the stack. And you can see they're heading in the opposite direction from the Trailblazer towards a completely empty B site. And 100 Thieves have played Pearl only once before. It was previously their permaban. You know, they played it in the previous meta, but this year it was their permaban, to be honest, and they didn't look great at it when they showed it last time. Both Pearl and Ascent, Sean was talking about it earlier, have been big weaknesses in this team's map pool, and now they are in a situation where they have to avoid elimination from the playoffs on what was formerly their permaban map. And the last time we saw them on Pearl, they were doing a lot of this stuff where they play slowly at the beginning, don't really explore towards mid or break any killjoy utility and just end B. There didn't really seem to be too much strategy to it, or too much mid-rounding either from Stella. So that's the area that I really want to see improvement in this half.
Yeah, the mid-rounding, just a bit of direction there, rather than just, you know, the sole game plan of being NB, and when it fails, then you're just left with nothing. I mean,
Absolutely.
They've got plenty of footage to crawl through and look at. RGL Meister takes contact here, doesn't opt to die to the spike because he was 3 orbs being built up. Wants to get his ult a little bit faster. The rest of them, though, will be just trying to die. So that spike denying the ult. Stella obviously going for this as well.
Yeah, I mean, he really wants the Reckoning online.
Yeah.
Part of 100 Thieves' strategy is going to be to load ult orbs into Stella, probably.
Really important ultimate online when you see the Pearl teams playing this
Special
harbor.
about that killjoy
Because the Reckoning is just, it makes your retakes, it makes your takes to the sites as well inherently so much easier.
Yeah, some teams are going to prioritize the Harbor, other teams prioritize the Killjoy, for example, as well, or the Sky, depending on what their default looks like and what strats they want to go with. But Stella's still 3 away from his. There is very good weaponry here, though, in the bonus round, except that Stella is full invested. So they're kind of relying on Cryo getting up to the Blade Storm, too. Like I said, though, I'm more interested in what they look like in terms of their macro pathing, and this is interesting, new, different from 100 Thieves. They go towards B-Link, they break that Killjoy info utility early of the alarm bot, and threaten a bit of a B presence.
Yeah.
And now they're going to back up.
A bit akin to how Loud like to play it at the beginning, where they end up using their high tide. This time 100 Thieves opt into the Cascade. They have broken that utility, a repeat. Not lacking any confidence, is he? Chases A. It's been a while since he stepped into the role, but had to step into it once more for his team.
Everybody is grouped up here at the minute mark for 100 Thieves. They are just going to try and end B again. I do like that they pressure towards B-Link early, so it does give a little bit of a different flavor.
Already rotating.
Yeah, exactly. RGL's already on his way. They're booking it.
They've got the read that this is going to be ending towards that B site with Cryo getting that first pick. What's the call? Speeding it up. A dash into the back of horse here. Nanoswarm landing a bit late. That's an attempt at a punish. MIC taking way too much damage, and Cryo All that space gains, the deep dash into halls. He's got the angle.
Planted.
Just looking to carry the game, isn't he? Finding that early fight and the confidence to just run down Morris towards the end too. This is the attitude that 100 Thieves need in order to keep their season alive.
Cryo is a player who's leading 7-1 right now. He's got his confidence back at the tail end of this split.
And you heard Sean say too that not his fault that they lost on Fracture. When you support players are going 1 and 9 in terms of first kills, Cryo just he couldn't find the fights quickly enough to influence them.
Yeah.
And that was partly due to how well MIBR were playing with a lot of pace. But also 100 Thieves just weren't quite there to adapt. On this map, much easier to run slow defaults where Cryo's always at the front. If he's having a hot game, just put him in there.
Heavy stack towards A on the half buy, just to prioritize those orbs. Now, they're being met with a bit of rifle spam. Anything could happen.
MIBR have also made noise from at least 4 players.
Yeah, you'd think the call now would be to just take up the space towards B, but it's a reclearance. Oh, and this could get dangerous, couldn't it? 2 players against 4. Murray's playing wide, swinging wide. There's an attempt from Bang there. They want to try and deny this rifle being grabbed up. FRZ. I tell you, the amount of stinger kills we've seen recently, gotta start using that gun.
Spike planted.
Cryo's going deep to try and catch another player. They know that there's 2 in art, and Chosen, they're anticipating him being the B-side anchor in the midst of all of this.
Double face, Marshall. Oh, right around the side. It's a body shot onto Cryo. The no-scope will do it.
Asana's too far away to get a trade there. The angles just don't work.
Slide off angle as well, though. Now he's being punished. There's a reckoning in his face. He can't stand in one place.
Not again.
Stella last alive, and this
Not
is a
again.
win for MIBR. Stealing it away.
These thrifties are killing 100 Thieves.
And I gotta be critical of this as well. The mid-rounding was pretty much non-existent the last time they played Pearl there, but the call to re-hit into A, into a split, when you hear 4 of them, or at least a good amount of them on the half-buy.
You know that there was at least 3 or 4 of them there, just with how many different weapons you heard shooting and spamming through the high tide.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I do agree. And then, even more so than just the call, the coordination between, I believe it was Bang and Derek, I think, who were going through art together. One of them running away from the fight as the other one swung in aggressively. It all just fell to pieces.
A little bit out of sync.
Ores and orb emitting.
These thrifties may end up being the difference between 100 Thieves making playoffs or not. We already saw them have devastating consequences on Fracture. Again, a different look, though, from 100 Thieves on their attack side. They are working their way towards mid. With that cascade from Stella, they've taken a lot of control and put MIBR in a really odd spot. They've committed 3 bodies through here, no information. I can't say the last time I've seen a round that's come down like this.
Flipped around, yeah. I mean, look at the positioning of these players. Now, I think Bang should have heard the high tide and a flash as well, cut across. He has to expect that his players there. Yes, they do. The call's been made to use the Reckoning up to the top side of it to push them out, but they're really putting it now into Bang, and well,
good trade.
That is a good trade. Plant will fall, or go down though, so into the post plant now for 100 Thieves.
This becomes very difficult for Mariz and Chosen. Spawn is not safe. You know, the mid isn't safe either. How do they just get back to their team to help them retake?
Yeah, especially when it's been flipped like this into heaven. Asana's close. Is there going to be a swing from anyone? Jump spot. He needs help here. Asana's got to make that call. Cryo now starting to reposition. 2 assists, but a snake bite at his feet. Not quite possible. Morris, he attempted it. Not calling, though, that the player's already pushed up, but there is coverage in terms of the fire. Stella, the IGL steps up. Cryo holds his. 4-1.
And that's really nice. Last time we saw 100 Thieves on Pearl, they looked very one-dimensional. Like they had a single idea of how to play the map on their attack side, and already they're demonstrating some serious differences. Sure, they've been trending towards the B side of the map still, apart from that one kind of dreadful anti-eco, but they've been putting much more heavy pressure towards B link. The cascade and Cryo playing through there is something that MIBR are going to have to adapt to. And this was such an awkward situation that they called an audible for and dealt with really well.
Yeah. A lot of that emphasis placed towards the A and B orbs as well early on. Again, placing it under Stella, so working towards the Reckoning. We've already spoken about how important it is. No idea where that wall bangs.
So that's going through to the left side if somebody pushed all the way up. Look, right there.
Okay.
So if one of the defenders had pushed up behind the high tide and got themselves into
I'm taking notes.
that angle, I mean, don't know how often it's really going to get you value.
Very specific. Stacked up, though. Couple of rifles in the hands of the MIBR players, but frenzy from Murray's if they try and fight this one like they have been in the past. Oh, they're met. Bullets raining down on them. It's a narrow choke point and they're being squeezed. All the angles here. Asuna chased, flash. Seeker's reloading. He's got to get out of there. Someone needs to help him. He's been sighted. Cryo, meanwhile, how's he done this? All the way through A main. He's cut it up. A good adaptation.
There was a frenzy and a classic brought
30
into this
seconds
round,
left.
Brent. This is another
planted.
half-buy situation that 100 Thieves were on the wrong side of.
Yeah, I did already have, I think, 3 of the rifles heading into it, though, but now it's up to Cryo. Low enough. Mars wins that with the widest swing. He's just trying to get info for his team there, and he does the most. But you are right, it's another, like, weird buy situation. I wouldn't quite call it a thrifty,
No,
but
it's not a thrifty, you're right. They still have 3 rifles, but the frenzy got a lot of work done.
yeah.
And also, MIBR crucially making a really important read that 100 Thieves have been playing heavy around these double doors.
And that's the
into B-Link.
adaptation, right?
Yeah, stacking a couple of players up there. And Asuna hasn't really been using too much of his utility to take that door. They've been relying very heavily on the Cascade, and MIBR not playing there. So now, you know, the next layer perhaps is to really heavily push that area with Trailblazer and flashes. But that does give away which parts of the map you're fighting for. MIBR with 3 players towards A main again. The the flash from the sky, not finding any information, so they just leave JCZ posted up with an operator.
Here.
It's going to give them the freedom to stack these other 4 players from MIBR anywhere else they like on the map.
It does. Tower broken in mid. It's decent by MIBR. Breaking the Killjoy utility. Putting a bit of fear now into 100 Thieves, and how they clear this angle is so vital. They got to know that there's money online for the op. Yeah, it's a quick jiggle, and they spot it out. Trailblazer as well. Pushed forwards. Dealt with.
It's nice from JCZ though. He keeps contesting multiple angles there. Only popping his dash at the final moment once the Trailblazer's used.
Minute on the clock.
Bang's going to get caught by the alarm bot.
Well, clears the util out.
Oh, I like it. Okay, so Murray's is popping his ult off the pressure towards B. And this now puts serious time crunch onto 100 Thieves. 40 seconds.
What calls do they want to make? They'll have to try and go for the plan here, but anybody could pop out of one of these angles. Plant. Going for it. Snakebite. Down. Spraying randomly. And still catching it. It's the util that gets the job done. MIBR now starting to swarm this position. The reposition from Bang. Only the one to be gained. It's a bad plan. Traded. And it is a bad plan. You have to play close onto the corner. High tide, though, it's going to be blocking off that avenue, isn't it? Gets sent flying, cutting across. They try to push forwards, the fuse, sticking it through. Wall gets dropped. Easy enough fight.
I really like that play from MIBR. Benito was talking about it last week, actually, how good those Viper's pits off B sound or pressure can be. And 100 Thieves are stuck in a situation where, with 40 seconds on the clock, they might have enough time to run all the way back to A, but it would be so telegraphed, very noisy, and difficult. Now, I think the best call in this situation would have been to try and take out Murray's before they went for the plant. But they just felt a little rushed, a little scrambled, and went for it anyway inside their cove, where the Snakebite and Vulnerable ended up being devastating. MIBR have fought for A-Long quite a lot, but this time not going for it. JCZ's got his off in Art.
Here we go. This is fast. Flash forwards. Art being cut off here with a Reckoning as well. Cleans out the site. No one can stand their ground. MIBR backing away. They're giving them the plant. They have confidence. They know they've got the better guns, and they know they've got the Reckoning and the lockdown. Big ultimates to really clear out this Viper's pit. 100 Thieves committing it.
Going for a thrifty of their own.
But they want to try and push this. One player spotted. There's the Reckoning. And again, this is really awkward for 100 Thieves. Cryo. I mean, it's just absolutely everything in his face. Utility, Muck, the lockdown as well. Viper's pit will be falling here with a kill found on the Stella. It's going to make it that much more easier. Comes out to the utility, and it's a bit of a scramble.
RGL has code.
Cove as well to try and bring this one down. Players are equalizing, but the fuse is being stuck and they don't have the guns for it. Cryo has to jump right through, stuck onto half, all the way through. It's random spam, it's RNG. And he gets the job done, sadly.
One enemy remaining.
For 100 Thieves.
They didn't have a plan to push the lockdown.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's really what the round comes down to, is that 100 Thieves decide to invest the Viper's Pit on site and don't have an idea of how they're going to counter the Reckoning and the lockdown that come out to challenge it. The lockdown was placed in Flowers, and it forced everybody on 100 Thieves to evacuate the site in a spot where, as you quite rightly point out, as soon as the Cove goes down for RGL, look, they're shooting it with classics and frenzies and a blade storm and stuff. It just doesn't do enough damage.
Yeah.
You need the spray of those rifles to securely play a post plant like that.
And so maybe an attempt to push, deep into the back of the spawn, like towards Secret, Flowers, something like that, coordinated. Throw them off when they're trying to set up for the lockdown, but it wasn't there. It's caused 100 Thieves to use one of their timeouts now. It's 4-4, it's equalized. It was a great beginning for 100 Thieves, but MIBR have been scrambling back. It all started with that thrifty round, the eco round again. I think they're 3 out of 4 so far.
It's been ridiculous what MIBR have been able to pull off with the light buy situations. Here is that lockdown. See a little replay of it here. And also just spamming into the Reckoning positions is so good against the Viper's Pit. You don't even really need the vision that much.
Just pay attention to where the little golden whips are appearing above them.
Quite. And so I thought 100 Thieves might be coming back into this map with some real fire lit underneath them. They're one map away from being eliminated from playoffs. That has got to light a fire underneath you. And it felt like Cryo had one. He was coming in here, dominating those early fights. And since then, they just haven't been able to stop the retakes.
Put a dampener on it. Deep flash now, mid-control. There's the loud wall that's going to be used, so the goal of this one, either to take a fight or clear out the utility. Operator has been spotted. Cryo not eager to take that fight again.
They didn't break the turret.
Yeah, they hit a turret, but they don't break it.
But they have actually threatened that they could be going into mid. So the use of that high tide is that it kind of bypasses the turret. They take it out anyway. But you can see that MIBR have got to drop back way deep in their spawn to deal with this kind of thing. The serious threat, though, that MIBR still have is JZZ just holding art control for them the whole time. Oh. And Bang gets caught walking past the alarm bot.
You should run.
Chosen understands how his kill choice setups have been placed and where the gaps are.
And this is a really important tool now. With Chosen still alive, they're going to have the nano swarms all there. Look at it. Cuts across onto the side with the lockdown. Fades away, no one detained, and MIBR, an option for them. Do they want to flood into this one as the plant's going down? Spray kill. Seeker's used to try and push them back here, but again, it's 100 Thieves that are feeling the heat. It's turned all the way up. The spike is in the middle of nowhere. They have to make plays. They're pushing forwards, deep into the spawn. But there's so many angles to watch for. And you got to win out these fights. It's just not looking likely. Only Cryo's there. 15 seconds remaining. They'd have to all line up for him. On his position, round the side, try to react to it. Chosen with 4. What a massive kill he got at the beginning. Bringing down Bang, staying alive, keeping his util up.
He's been a phenomenal super sub for this team coming in to replace Heat. He really has. The first match, he got pounded into the dust, and he hasn't let it bother him mentally. He's just come back into their next one with something more to prove. Great opener, great kill onto the planter too. I think, though, 100 Thieves should have a really good idea of how Chosen's playing right now. Bang has twice been able to lurk all the way deep down B and run into an alarm bot that triggers some response from Chosen. If I was him, I'd be trying to tell the rest of 100 Thieves, we need to go and break that Killjoy utility on B early, so that if we return to B later on, they don't have that info.
There's already been adjustments. Look at the MIBR setup. They've got the alarm bot now deep into the back of halls.
It's impressive, isn't it? Chosen
switching it up.
Chosen's a smokes player, or at least he was when he played Valorant a long time ago. And yet his Killjoy setups have been really solid this week.
First fight to be taken. Rifle exchange the hands though with Cryo falling and still with the operator. Watching that main angle. Stun. It connects.
Spike down A.
Scrambling. 100 Thieves. They can't get anything going. Not on that round.
It's a half buy for 100 Thieves. The economy weaker, but we've seen those be incredibly dangerous to MIBR, and they just look limp from 100 Thieves.
Yeah.
And I'm really wondering where all that fire's gone.
Yeah, this is starting to get precarious, isn't it?
Oh, MIBR already anticipating some adjustment in terms of the play. Move Chosen back over to the A site. So, like I was saying, I would really like 100 Thieves to go and explore towards B early on so that they can reset and re-hit B. But if they did that right now, they'd be going into the off.
Right, gamble at the beginning, though, for 100 Thieves. There's a flash. Cryo set up onto the angle. The rest of the team now leaving. Probably looking to put pressure into mid. Maybe even set up here for the A split.
They did go for the A split once on an anti-eco, but they didn't run into this particular Killjoy setup. It's a very common one.
Swarm grenade out.
And you see the cascade stops the turret from getting information, but the alarm bot is still there. Nano Swarm line up to clear out this area too.
The turret's broken.
Do they break the alarm bot?
Moving forward enough. It looks like they want to actually commit into this one, into the A split. All that information, though, it's gathered, and MIBR, they stack it with 3 other players.
Chosen with another spray spam kill from back of sight.
Yeah. Part of the course of Pearl of what we've seen, a lot of the Phantom spray downs. Not too much precision up play, but it still gets the job done. Now a snakebite into the back of the site. Just hoping that they can earn a kill. Grace of God really at hand here. White swing into it, bangs fallen, and it's all in the blink of an eye over in that round. 7-4, MIBR sailing ahead with this lead, looking at
Last round
potentially
in the
again that
half.
8-4 finish.
And this is why 100 Thieves losing Fracture was so devastating. They just don't look like they're able to get in on Pearl at all. This is now 6 rounds in a row where they've failed, fumbled, not been able to get either a plant down into a good post plant or just been retaken on.
Enemy remaining.
The flood there from MIBR looks really clean. Chosen again, doing work. 100 Thieves need to pick things back up for a 7-5 half here. Otherwise, that might be just them kissing their playoff chances goodbye. Potter's going to be popping a bottle of champagne at the half.
Yeah. With 100 Thieves losing, of course, EG sailed their way into the top 6, making that playoffs. That's what's decided with this series.
And they can't have thought that was likely heading into the day with how poorly MIBR have been playing recently. But it just looks like a different squad today.
Contacting all the way up here, just trying to explore for the util. But look at it, the lockdown's being committed. Close up onto the corner and play fast, aggressive. Cryo trying to make the most of it as well. Within the timings of the lockdown, but he's taken out removed. It's 4 versus 4. The plan is for them, and it's going to come down to this, is it? Lovely high tide cuts off these deep areas. And it cuts off a lot of these lineup angles as well if they want to try and play the util to deny the plant. 100 Thieves, they might be in a tricky situation. Flash, repeat, taking the fights to them. No one's sticking to the fuse yet, but there's plenty of time left to do it. RGL, job's in his hands. The rest of his team taking fights, taking battle to the cove. It's all defended. It's all watched for. It's 8-4. And MIBR playing spoiler, setting themselves up for the slam dunk finish.
That was such a nice retake. The high tide that you pointed out and the aggression before just getting stuck, diffusing the spike. It's all good. It's all there.
Yeah, really, really nice stuff. Dangerous team, MIBR. Nothing to play for. It unleashes that upper limit of potential.
100 Thieves must be absolutely kicking themselves.
So I had one little interview, but oh man, look at the round history here in this map. There's 7 rounds in a row, and now being lost for 100 Thieves, and you got to think as well, this is where you really get tested, your playoff chances, weighing at the back of your mind.
They need another pistol. 100 Thieves, they won it in the first half, and we were talking about how important that was, with MIBR taking both of them on Fracture. They haven't even really got JZZ online. It's been all the support players making the difference.
Playing off of each other, setting each other up. Bit of an angle there for some spam into the common position. Utility as well. Lovely Nano Swarm placement. It's going to be denying any sort of space gained. And they do capitalize, okay. Just aiming into the common spots, making sure that they remove them. What? Derry doesn't win that inside the orb. Needs to be responsive. Who knows what's happening right now? Snakebite at his feet, vulnerable up. Cryo will be falling. The cove in his face. He thought to deny the plant. It's broken. Sellers wide out in the open. Doesn't look to be much more help, but still doesn't need it. Yes, he does. The team responds. They collapse onto it. Good setup there. And a must-win pistol round, Josh. We were talking about it. We said it. They grab it.
Focus and a little bit of nervousness, I think, on the faces of the 100 Thieves players after that pistol round. It is a lifeline for them. One that they will be holding on to. Their anti-ecos have been absolutely dreadful, but surely there's no way they lose a round like this. This should be the opportunity for 100 Thieves to stabilize just a tad and start things rolling again. Give themselves a fresh start at the half.
It's necessary.
They've got everything to play for here. And MIBR, nothing to lose. That's a good start for Cryo. Normally you wouldn't be putting such a focus on a round like this where MIBR only have classics, but the Thrifties have just been devastating 100 Thieves' chances in this match so far.
Yeah, they've been winning all of them. They're going to get given the plan, so, well, poke in the face.
Planted.
Again, just a random fire into those angles with the plant going down. It is that post plant, but huge player advantage. Frozen is seen, and that is clean. It needed to be clean. 8-6 now. And that lifeline, it's renewed into the second half. 100 Thieves to start building it back up.
Might want to pop the cork back in the bottle of champagne.
Not yet. Not yet, Potter. Not yet.
Yeah, wait a little while.
Poison's gone.
Spike planted.
Here.
It was 100 Thieves'
One
attack side
enemy
that,
remaining.
to me, looked the most lifeless on Pearl. And to be honest, I think they did bring a couple of new ideas here. They just ended up getting completely outplayed. What have MIBR got to show us? Rifles in hand. And 100 Thieves are setting up Cryo on a deep angle here. He's got a Phantom. Probably going to tuck himself behind this box. And just wait to see if Morris and RGL go for the clear.
Yeah. All the walls and smokes in his face. Hiding it.
Cryo's still got Asuna to play off at some point here too.
Flash tags it. There's so many positions that players could be in here.
That is a strange investment of the Trailblazer and Dash this early on. When the Flash caught somebody, Cryo and Asuna's protocol is to fight there, thinking that they could be close. But in reality, RGL and Murray's were a long way away. And all that's done for 100 Thieves is, first 40 seconds, they pushed up B long, and now they've given it again.
Mid-rounding of MIBR here is quite nice. Prying open the middle section of the map, removing some of the utility.
And FRZ still has full Sky util to work with. Here's the Trailblazer.
Destroyed.
And he's got a flashback too. They can end wherever they like.
Was broken early, so tonight a bit of that extra info. Still, the Nanoswarms. Looks like this is going to be ending. 30 seconds left. Nanoswarms popped
30 seconds left.
prematurely, ever so slightly, just to prevent them from really getting into the side. It's a dash forwards as well. A lot of damage. Narrowly escaping that one. Plant still needs to go down here, though, and it will.
Derek doesn't really have a weapon where he can wallbang, so he's going to swing instead, and he catches Murray's
There you go.
mid-transition.
Go in his face starts. Got to be chewed through. Bringing it down. Player close here. RGL. Looking to try and stay alive. They're spamming to the corner. It looks like they are aware that he's there. Wider swing. Going to be some sort of phase. Bang! He's taking the lead for the rest of his team. It's difficult, though. Got to match the crossfire. Art's been dealt with still. It's a 2-on-2. Left of the Chosen. Running gun. That does it. With the Phantom just barely.
It's a nice try from 100 Thieves. They didn't quite have the weaponry that they will do later on in the game. But overall, the way that they played it was pretty decent.
Yeah.
Don't think you can be mad about that if you're hoping for them to make the comeback.
They win the bonus. It'll be amazing, but the fact that they did that much damage, they'd be quite pleased with.
I think in particular, Derek being able to find a kill and stabilize and just slow down the rest of MIBR, that's a really important one. Derek had a pretty dreadful attack side, and now on defense is going to be asked a lot of. The Killjoys sometimes just get bullied on the defense side, but Derek for the moment, playing impressively, using his utility well to slow them down on the pistol and the bonus there for 100 Thieves.
Look at this now.
Reckoning gain for RGL.
Yeah, 4-1. The Reckoning's probably going to be used to take this side.
And to counter.
Problem. Yeah, here it is.
They're both used at the same time.
Right, offloaded, 1 for 1. They were ready for it. Negates it out, actually. Buys a bit of time now for 100 Thieves to choose to see if they want to rotate, and they do indeed do that. Surrounding it with their players. preventing the spike from really getting planted and any sort of positioning to be gained.
But this is what I wanted to see from 100 Thieves in the previous half, where they go B early, break a lot of the Killjoy setup, and they can always re-hit B later on. They've only taken 40 seconds off the clock, now a bit more down to a minute. MIBR still have options. They can try and go A, they could go for it back to B.
Cryo with the op.
Not really at this point.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah.
Sightline from the back of Flowers. He's got it perfectly into main. It's smoked off though. Oh, wow. That was an opportunity to be granted.
Nearly caught a fingertip.
30 seconds
Almost
left.
getting the kill. But open sight. Again, a phantom spam spraying through. And the post-plant positioning from MIBR here is actually quite good. They get the plant down. Troubled up, holding control of Ard and main. This is going to be really hard for 100 Thieves to fight back into.
Especially with that orb from Murray's. A lot of decay for anybody coming out through Flowers. There's a flank going on here from JZZ too.
How do they opt to do it? The high tide just swings its way all the way through into Art. But you have so much to deal with. Util, spam onto it. Half onto defuse. Bang, he's got it. He's made it potentially winnable. Not quite anymore. It would take so much from Asuna. A step up in performance the likes we haven't seen in quite a bit. And yeah, that might be Art. They just did enough there with a setup in their post plant. It was contained.
And I think their attack side calling is something fairly simple but really effective that we didn't see from 100 Thieves at all. Barreling towards one of the sites early, dragging 4 players there, and it frees up either the B re-hit or, like we saw, the full rotate to A. They got that spike plant down so easily, and they were even able to go and take arc control for the post plant without barely any resistance.
Yeah.
They just had to dodge one op shot from Cryo.
It was that full over-rotation when the ults are committed. I mean, it felt like a B hit. It was supposed to be a B hit. That's why it felt like one.
Yeah.
Everybody was grouped up behind it. So a timeout for 100 Thieves. Got to reflect on this now.
Yeah, it's going to get a little desperate in the 100 Thieves camp as they scramble for ideas. And that can sometimes be the biggest problem in moments like these. When you feel the weight of pressure and the burden of expectation settle heavy upon your shoulders, it can be hard for your mind to be free and think of different solutions. That's where Mike will have some input, Stellar as the IGL, I'm sure. But really, it becomes so much more difficult when your confidence gets knocked and your back's up against a wall, compared to when you're winning and it feels like any idea works. At that point, everyone's throwing them out.
Yeah. Bit of a dampener on the spirits here. 100 Thieves had the most to do to try and step up, equalize the map, stay in the series, and stay in a chance of making the playoffs.
But this is going to be a thrifty round for 100 Thieves, so in all likelihood, MIBR stepping up to 11 rounds here, and that is devastating for this 100 Thieves squad.
Disastrous. Then beginning for MIBR. We're used to it by now. We've seen enough weeks of play with this composition here being played.
I've got your trail.
Cascade now to Seekers, layers it up. Nothing to match it, nothing to meet it
Here.
from 100 Thieves. Plant's gonna go down easily enough. Look at that spam onto the corner. They hear the reload. This is A, being body blocked. Oh my goodness, he's like, get out of my way. Get me to safety.
The fight's happening on the flank here, really.
And this is important. There's still enough time into this one for there to be that danger. Snakebite doesn't connect, actually blocks them off. And Cryo, he lands a shot, the Blaze Storm. He's earned them some guns.
They're going to push this into Stellar.
Yeah, this is the response from MIBR. Stella staying alive, doing as much as he possibly can. And honestly, maybe enough done with the damage. Doesn't get the kill that he was hoping for. Seeker's now pushing forward and around. It's a South Flash, Team Flash, Cryo. He's blinded up. Any presence? Gotta try and stick this one, but it's contacted up with the knives. Still, now he's noted the position. He's gonna hold this ground. FRZ, that's a sticking it, no choice too. He wins it. FRZ,
Now there's some
3 kills. And that's 11-6.
100 Thieves needed that. They needed it. Cryo did everything he could. The flank play was nice. The mid-rounding from MIBR to shove it into Stellar even better.
One enemy remaining.
How different it would have been if there was a bit of RNG there, you know? Stella's right click gets a kill.
Sure. But also just the duel towards the end. FRZ swings into Cryo, a straight-up duel. FRZ wins it, and it sets him up for the 1v2 Red Bull clutch. 100 Thieves have still got chances here, but it is looking rougher by the second. MIBR are in control today. They're just 2 rounds away from their first series win in 35 days. That upset against NRG. And Cryo.
Get out of my way.
Bang taken out early. onto the common angle here. And again, it's that explosive increase of tempo into the back of the horse. Cryo, when he gets his one kill. But look at this, the aggression, updraft up into it. Asanai watches it though, he hears it, takes care of it. Locked down, sailing right over. Gotta be careful, there's no detainment. But here we go, Murray's Viper's Pit in their face. Such a pivotal round, why not invest everything? MIBR winning will break the economy of 100 Thieves. It'll set them up for that series win to deny the playoffs. So it all comes down to it. How do you win the fight out? Spam onto the corner. Derek misses it. Ever so slightly. Nanoswarm's popped off. And there it is, not cleared. Stella waiting back and forth. Murray's. With all the odds coming in, 12-6. MIBR, they stand on the brink. Playing spoiler, denying the playoffs for 100 Thieves. And granting a gift to EG.
12-6. Just seems like a fated scoreline this week. We saw it in the first map as well on Fracture, right before MIBR locked that map up.
One enemy remaining.
The EG players will be sweating at home just as much as the 100 Thieves players are on stage.
And a call is made. This is it. It's do or die. It's going to come down to this fight. Grouped up. Flashes dodged. Maybe a bit of false information. No armor for Cryo. Forced into the rifle. They need a pick, but with that presence, maybe I want nothing to do with it.
Hundred Thieves have used a lot of utility there, but they've still got the Killjoy stuff up over towards A.
They've rotated adequately. Cryo's already going to be meeting this one, but space gained. Running their way forward. Again, the Reckoning's playing such an important role in these side hits. The Nanoswarm's popped off. Cryo wins his fight. He had no armor. He wasn't favored there. That's the first step. If they're going to be able to overcome this one, but the spam kills, that's what matters. Cryo wins another one. Plan has to be denied for but a moment. The util's there. There's a flood attempt by 100 Thieves. Cryo is unleashed. He's unlocked. The rest of his team backs him up. Chosen. He's got to stand up to it. But it's already looking like Cryo returning maybe to the beginning of that form that he had at the start of Pearl. What a time to do it. 4 kills. Still alive.
MIBR, the speed that they're playing at, it took 100 Thieves a while to adapt on Fracture, and they really failed in the end. It feels like that's the first time where we've actually seen the adaptation come through on Pearl. MIBR barreled towards the B site at the start there. Bang used both of his snake bites just to keep them back. And MIBR went for the full pivot. Full ran it into A. And Cryo had to sprint from up B long all the way back over to help Derek. And that's what really wins them the round. The speed at which he rotates. And, of course, the shots he hits.
And I gotta say, just landing it, stepping up. 23 kills. Forcing a timeout out for MIBR. Have one more of those as well in the back pocket in case it does start to get rough, but it's 5 rounds, Josh. 5 chances for MIBR to put the dream to bed.
And you were talking about Cryo just then. I do feel for him. His performances week 1, 2, and 3 were really rough, and I think 100 Thieves suffered as a result. And that's part of the reason why they find themselves in this spot, to be honest, where the final game of the regular season defines whether or not they make it into playoffs. But from week 4 onwards, Cryo's been a bit of a demon. It looks like he's straight back to what we expected of him in the offseason. Comes out here. He's playing fantastically. And his team is on the verge of losing and being eliminated.
So much demanded of him.
And there will be more if 100 Thieves are to mount this comeback. There will be more.
One single misstep will cost them everything. MIBR moving forwards, grouped up, meeting them. Walls for walls, flashes for flashes. Gaining that space, and again, it's the Reckoning.
I've seen Bang use his Viper's Pit before. It always seems so ambitious. He's so far away from the action when it actually ends on either site, and Pearl's a map where you can just run it into one of the bomb sites. So I'm not sure he's really going to have too much impact in this.
100 Thieves stacking this with 3 of their players.
Yeah, Murray's lurking over towards B as well as MIBR call a bit of a halt, a silence in this round. It's not something that MIBR have done too much in the half. We saw Bang go for lurks like this a lot down B. And he was getting picked to pieces by
Toxins
Chosen.
going
Who's
up.
going to win the battle between Murray's and Derek? Whether it be an aim duel or a positioning outplay.
And this is important. It's a fake attempt. Spike is nowhere near B, by the way, but they're attempting to make it feel like it is the play. Cryo takes the fight.
Alarm bot triggered.
Into enemy territory, and yet Morris is decimated.
He's cooked.
Ripped to
30
shreds.
seconds left.
Big advantage. Now the hits finally coming through. Spike making his way over here. Snakebites drop down just to get them onto it. 100 Thieves not giving him the chance.
And I've been asking MIBR to slow the pace down on both maps, actually, to throw in a couple of rounds like that.
10 seconds
But
left.
the coordination just doesn't quite seem to be there for this squad. That round looked overcooked. The timing way off in terms of the fake attempt. And Murray's diving into the alarm bot and dying, in fact, to the nanoswarms. All right. So 6 opportunities goes down to 4. I swear we were saying that earlier this week as well, Brent. I'm getting some serious deja vu.
10 seconds left.
The 100 Thieves will take anything they can.
Yeah, will it be a repeat? A comeback of this fashion. The chances are getting removed, but all it takes is one, remember.
And this one should be a gimme for 100 Thieves, but they have struggled on the anti-ecos this entire match to such a high degree.
You cannot give anything away. Grouped up now. It's Derek holding it. He's got his util. Waiting for the hit to potentially come through. Stella, great kill to find there. Chosen falling. Okay, JCC. Trying to reset the aim. Stella. Derek doing well. Safe hands, still alive as well. In a safe position here. The Trailblazer to push forwards. Doesn't anticipate it. It's a reposition.
Strike down
But it's only
A.
FRZ.
Yeah, he's last alive. Snakebite moving him out. 3-2-1 double swing. There needs to be a face there. Okay.
A small amount of danger, but nowhere near as bad as some of their previous anti-ecos. So 100 Thieves, half the chances that MIBR had available to them at winning this match 2-0.
That should have been a freebie though, Josh. It was.
It was. It ended up being. And it's also boosted the ult economy of 100 Thieves too. They've got a Reckoning to stop a sight hit from coming through. They've got a Lockdown to try and play retake. These are big, big tools.
Oh, here we go. It's a clash though. MIBR one away from their own Reckoning. We know how much they've been playing for these orbs. The fight towards A.
I don't think they're going to commit to this fully. This just looks like a bit of a fake.
Yeah, push them back. Gets info.
So they're going to allow RGL Meister to get up to... Oh, RGL actually a bit scared of that. Doesn't know whether there's serious people behind it. It could have been a play to set Cryo up. So RGL doesn't want to play for that orb. Perhaps then pivoted over to B. Oh, and the Trailblazer does not spot Chosen. We could see a big clash in mid.
First fight. Footsteps. Snakebite. Vulnerable. Spam. Bang. Heads up.
Intelligent.
You knew what to expect.
Meanwhile, though, the reswing from Murray's through B-Link.
All the way through B-Link. Gets one. It's met. It's answered. It's traded. But again, time. Pushing forward. JCC, he's in there. Spawn. Reckoning as well. All the way through. It's a lockdown. Now on his feet, JCC, he's got to be noted here. He wins the fight versus Stella. On the high ground, Cryo swings round, lands a shot. It's chaos. Has been thrown into the mix. 2 players left standing for MIBR, and they are running. It's a marathon sprint.
And it's a move that we've seen before from MIBR. Heavy pressure towards B, and then go all the way back over to the A side. They know that there was Killjoy utility
30
on B.
seconds left.
That probably means 100 Thieves don't have anyone on A. Or possibly one offer. There's a flash, clears out flowers. They know Cryo isn't there. That's the angle he's been playing before. So they enter in. It's going to be a free plant.
I gotta say, this is still potentially dangerous.
Oh, it
even with
definitely
MIBR, with the player disadvantage, because it's a long rotation. 100 Thieves, when they stack the site like that, they lose time. Most important factor. Doubled up for MIBR. Crossfire setup into the art position. A lot to watch for now for 100 Thieves. You have to be clean. There's so much to clear.
They don't know where MIBR are
They
at
don't
all.
have a clue. It's a flank attempt.
This is
FRZ taking risks. There's a turret to watch that one, though.
This is bold from
Cryo
FRZ.
sticking it. It's met. They know where one of the players are. Cryo trusting his teammates. He's sticking it all the way through. It's enough. Granted the win by sheer milliseconds.
The tiniest of margins. The slimmest of threads. a knife's edge that separates 100 Thieves there
And they're still alive.
from elimination from the playoffs.
This is ridiculous. RGL, what a player he's been.
He's been superb today, absolutely superb.
And I think he's played this so well. Most players are going to be getting off the stick there,
Yeah.
on the spike.
What more can Cryo do in this map?
Money. One last hurrahs in the bank for MIBR, but they only need one round. 2 more chances. A gap in the cascade. It's common. Cryo. Operator. Wants to find a target. Anyone to break it, doesn't land it. What an important shot or kill that might have been. Punished though, Derek answers. What a kill from Stella. The updraft from JZZ. He wanted to make the most of that.
And Derek's turnaround from the first half to the second has been nothing short of miraculous for 100 Thieves. It's been one of the big things keeping them in it, along with Cryo popping off. The Killjoy setups and his fragging have all been imperative for them to keep it in this game and keep that playoff dream alive.
Both of the controller players of 100 Thieves up. Look at that. I mean, you're just cycling the wall, the high tide, rotating them both. It's a chokehold. You cannot enter the B site.
Are we just going to see the exact same thing again, where
Only
MIBR
this time
sprint 2 players to A?
It's the only option they got, but
30
with the money
seconds
this low,
left.
Josh, they might just be opting into saving. 3 of the players bought out fully. They need these rifles.
JZZ is going to be able to buy next round. Chosen could drop one. But yeah, you're right. The others, the economy is looking rough. Bulldogs
10
light armor
seconds
for
left.
FRZ Murray's by the look of things.
Yeah. Hard call, but MIBR.
Oh my, those 6 chances have all been whittled down to 1.
One more shot. Credit to 100 Thieves. They've done enough to bounce back, but this is the most important one. Comes down to this. That last timeout for MIBR, a bit more room to breathe. Talk about what you want done. Bazooka going to be making the most of it.
What a shot.
Reverberations from the crowd. Can feel it up on their feet.
But this timeout is just full of so many emotions. From the 100 Thieves camp, they're running high, but every round has the risk of plunging them into despair, as their regular season and playoff hopes will be over. And spare a moment to think of the EG players watching from wherever they are in LA. I mean, Ethan was talking about if MIBR won today, he'd do a 24-hour stream. Demon One was talking about going bald if MIBR won. I mean, he'll have the Clippers ready, plugged in to charge. This has been a ridiculous match so far. And even if 100 Thieves were able to pull it out, we go to Lotus.
Yeah. Still undecided. This is just to stay alive in the series, but that final chance. MIBR, they could close it out here, or could be seeing overtime. 100 Thieves. They've stepped up. Cryo at the top, 27 kills.
3 times the frags of his opposing Jet. What more do you want from Cryo? What more can you ask? And yet MIBR have had other players stepping up. The Seekers?
Okay.
Did
I mean,
Asuna
this is
Asuna
so
use those in the
early
first
on.
10 seconds and the Trailblazer,
Yeah.
trying to shove everybody into a reactive play on B.
Making them feel like they're pushing out of A. It's just only Asuna sitting in that position. But MIBR, they just hold it down. They play slow.
And suddenly all of that is just wasted, really, isn't it?
Wasted. And it's a scramble from 100 Thieves.
It cuts 30 seconds, if that, off the clock.
Cryo's had to reposition to this. He's laid onto it. Dog's going to be clearing him. Now to know where the operator is. Lurking through.
They have, however, been able to stack 3 players on B because of all the info that Asuna's got in A main.
It's a
They're
rumble.
ready for this.
It's a fight. It's a rumble. Vulnerable flash into the corner. Good snake bite. Push them away. Forces the updraft. Spam won't do it. Close to the corner. Morris is there. Bang wins his fight.
Asuna's pushing out from A. He's going to meet Chosen.
It's going to be contained. He comes down to the fight. There's one, and Asuna wasn't looking.
So now, do they react into A? Do they meet Cryo?
It's all over the
What's
place.
the play? They're indecisive.
30 seconds.
30 seconds left.
This is chaos. The final round has been plunged into absolute anarchy.
Down.
Bang. To step up, to save the team. Tries to pre-fire it. Derek's there. Swinging wide. Doesn't stay alive for much longer, though. He will fall. 2 versus 3. Spike planted on the angle. Spammed. Back holes. It's noted. 10 seconds remaining. The time pressure is there. A kill on it. We'll do it all. It's held. Round the side. It's one. Surely there it is.
Smarts from Asna. What an adaptation for 100 Thieves there on the B side.
Switching sides.
That crazy gambit at the
Overtime.
beginning of the round as Asna unloads every piece of utility available to him, including the ult. Yes, it did not funnel MIBR into B, but what it did was eventually shepherd them in that direction and allow 100 Thieves to cheat their rotates and stack 3 on the site. The first line of defense fell, then Derek put up a decent attempt, but it was Stella, the 3rd player on the B side, to mop things up. And we go to overtime. How have 100 Thieves kept their playoff dreams alive? I can't believe it.
Room to breathe, but only for a moment. Maybe a little bit of tension relieved as well out of the shoulders, but here we go. 100 Thieves attack side. Didn't look so hot. And risks. No armor. JZZ wants to take the fight with the operator right into mid.
And remember, JCZ has not been performing really on Pearl so far. He was great on Fracture when he was playing the Neon. The Jet so far just hasn't been hitting. If he turns up an OT, it could crush 100 Thieves all over again.
Reposition. Back onto the B angle. 100 Thieves. And you pick up the pieces. 1 player down as a cascade as well. This does reduce the amount of options that you can play from if you are offing. You have to be diligent to clear it. You're not going to have the nano swarms. Toss into the back of halls. Dash fades. No chance there. Dash forwards though. It's Cryo into heaven. Lands it with the transfer. Once more. Another bite of the apple. Denied into halls. Asuna. Spray through. Spray down. 2 players left standing. 100 Thieves have managed to make the most of it. Reckoning. Even more space granted to them.
RGL's worried about being pushed. Backs all the way up. Chosen almost offered one. Knows where 1 player is positioned. They don't have any great util for clearing out halls here. It's just going to have to be a serious gunfight.
It's got to be racing right now. 100 Thieves. Turning the tide of this round. It was a 4v5. Already it's up to RGL. He's been monstrous. Surely he doesn't do this. Doubled up, sticking it through. Doesn't opt to use the util. Wider swing, bang. He lands it. Shot to the cranium. And now on that point, it oscillates. 100 Thieves now with the moment to strike.
Deep breaths from these players.
Toxin screen.
It was 7 in a row to close out the half, I believe, from MIBR to start on Pearl. 7 in a row now to bring 100 Thieves to map point. Poetic in some sense, but will it end this way? A pause just to increase the tension further as MIBR are desperate not to let this one slip away. They have not been able to find any answer, any response for so long.
It's 100 Thieves who have come up with the adaptations, getting a read on the style that MIBR have been playing. And now they've got to be thinking to themselves, we had a chance to close this out. 2-0. Would have been a quick end to the day. Would have made EG happy, but for 100 Thieves, confidence is back. Control of the game in their hands. And a moment to strike to bring it all the way to map 3.
MIBR start their attack round grouped up towards B long. This is where Cryo's got his operator playing with Asna.
Same setup here for MIBR on their attack rounds. They've been using this a lot.
And the flash finds nothing. It was inside the Viper orb.
Cryo close into the corner, spam at screens. Ducking down just to avoid his head. Maybe being hit. What a shot! Skewered! Gets out alive with his life, stunned down. This is what they were hunting for. This is what they were hoping for. You couldn't have asked for more. Cryo. 3, 4. Will he make it 5? Round the side, ace to finish.
Defenders win.
Their last 2 outings have been destruction at the hands of Cloud9 and EG, but they've changed the comp up. And I'm looking towards JCZ. He looked awesome at Neon. It added so much pace on Fracture. And then couldn't really find his footing in the Jet head-to-head, although I'm not gonna give him too much crap for that when he was up against Cryo.
Yeah, that's a hard task. Maybe that has something to do with a switch up here. Off the contact. Paranoia, the stun misses though.
It's a good cancel actually though from RGL and JCZ. They decide not to fight it.
There's 100 Thieves who are jumping right on the chance. Through the connector, Snakebite. And stand your ground there. It feels like they're threatening towards the B hit. Now moving in another direction. Murray's still waiting there, holding his own. Snakebite. Molly might be enough to push them back. Quick pivot, that random spam.
It's a lot of damage.
A lot of damage.
Ores and ore
I think
remaining.
Asuna has a heal as well to top them back up. It could be a difference maker. Swarming now into the A site. Pistol round. Comes down to that. Comes down to winning these fights. Morris still alive in the action. Not for much longer. Asuna. The trade is there. And so is Cryo. Hitting his shots. Precision being the name of the game. They're weak enough though. RGL Meister. A chance.
One enemy
Chosen's still
remaining.
with him. And it's turned just like that. Asuna. Who wanted to force the fight. Expecting the swing. Expecting the trade. Here's the footsteps. Wants an easy one. Isolating it. Finds that. Holds it. Shots. Precision not there. So Chosen steps up to the task. And he's won this pistol round for him.
It's all that prior damage. The right clicks were doing a ton of work from Murray's and RGL. And the right clicks weren't just landing on heads, they were also just chipping down players that had taken spam from frenzies and chip damage from snake bites earlier on in the round. 100 Thieves had a situation there where it looked like it was winnable for them. Couldn't quite drag it across the line. And so a pistol round. These pistols have dictated, I felt like, so much of the influence of the game. But there was no accounting for the crazy streak of rounds on Pearl that we saw.
We didn't see much of MIBR's Lotus as well the last time it was played on the defensive side.
No, in fact, as Sean was saying, the last 2 matches they combined for 0 defensive rounds, so they've already beaten that.
Yeah, the record cracked, so good start for MIBR.
And
Need
the
something
Neon,
like that as well after you lose that string of rounds in the previous map.
you're absolutely correct. In terms of the mental battle, of just keeping yourself in it, it's great to start off on such a good foot.
Toxin screen down.
All this ground has been given to 100 Thieves just to farm up the ults. The orbs as well. Trusting RGL as well. The lockdown A ruins. Oh, okay.
Good from JCZ to cover that because the flash was giving poor information. How does FRZ support RGL Meister here?
He's got backup.
Toxin screen there.
Swinging out, they see the body. They know, call's made. There it is. Spraying it through. Spectre, lots of damage done. 2 kills.
There.
But I like that from FRZ. He backs up with
30
only
seconds
20
left.
health, not allowing himself to get traded by one of the players with the Bulldog or the Classic. Just keeping numbers up.
Slowed down enough now. Bulldog for Derek. In the angle, here's the
remaining.
footsteps, but doesn't win out his fight. A lot of time remaining.
10 seconds left.
And a nice cleanup. Well done, and I think has already shown us that MIBR have a decent understanding of how they want to play this composition. JCZ's been very mobile around the map, you know, fighting A early in order to get RGL into position on top of Rubble, then goes back, covers B, and watches FRZ. And that little trio, you've got to pay attention to. Of the Neon with the Sky and the Omen, because that's going to be your aggressive component on A, on C, whenever they go for that, you know, slightly more proactive defense. And here they go again, that same trio looking to contest Stellar over towards Rubble.
It's a nice opening. You can see them actually firing off the stun. onto the other side of Ruins, just in case the Omen, Bang that is, tried to TP to the other side. They get control of that one, but 100 Thieves now. Trailblazer to clear through. There's a Paranoia vulnerable up, spammed as well. Cryo doesn't know where to look.
That's a disgusting Killjoy setup, isn't it? Yeah. One of the nanoswarms on top of the box.
It just sows chaos within the ranks. Maybe they can answer it back. That's just off onto that mound position. Glide to the side, JCZ.
Trail.
Somebody was holding that one. This is looking awkward, isn't it? All over the place. Rifles though, starting to ring true. Barreling their way through. Maybe brute force is the play.
Chosen's picked up a Vandal. They know which direction he should be roughly coming from. Especially now.
Yeah, chance. Chosen. Damage has already been done to this one. Doubled up for 100 Thieves. Now he knows both of them's there. No way! What a unbelievable! 4 kills, converting the bonus.
What a fantastic performance from Chosen. Remember, this guy's a sub. He's only played one other match in the split. And prior to that, had months away from playing in Pro Valorant. And was a smokes player prior to that too, primarily. He's 5-0 to start. And what I love about this play, I mean, not only is his Killjoy setup decent, we'll take another look at how he's positioning that, because Cryo looked like he didn't quite get it. But the clutch towards the end, his anticipation of the double stack. Look how he does that tiny jiggle on the corner to bait out the spam, and then wide swings back into them. He played that situation to perfection.
This is an amazing beginning. 3-round lead. It's already been mentioned, the defense side of MIBR has been looking tragic on this map, but it's a great start, a great beginning. Knocking 100 Thieves now down to the half buy.
And the Neon compositions globally have been having a huge amount of success on Lotus. Every region has been finding wins by using this composition. And MIBR with JZZ showing why they can be so dynamic with the areas on the map that they play. Cryo's got Sheriff in hand, activates the dash.
Yeah. Breaks it up, so dashes forwards now.
Ooh, he's still feeling it.
Yeah, what a kill. To grab, what a kill to find Seekers though. All the way through, it's a flood attempt.
What a flick.
Flick of the wrist reactions, JZZ. He's done a lot there. The reposition now, up close to the smoke, fades away at just the wrong time. For Cryo, that is. JZZ is going to be pleased. One though, cheeky timing taken by Derek.
30 seconds left.
Granted him a gun, there's no coverage for this one. Stella's just sticking it, lockdown as well.
Lockdown?
Getting the kill, but Derek's killed. Taken out, I mean, committing the ult stare, thinking it could have been potentially winnable, but just not thinking about the fact that MIBR were vacuuming up the space towards the connectors.
Yeah, that's a rough one. The timing way off. I mean, Stella's going for a plant completely undefended. And if they're going to try and push him at that point, there's nothing Derek can do about it. Timeout call for 100 Thieves, but it can't be overstated how much of a tool that is just taken out of their hands. Derek's ultimate can be fantastic for them to take a C exec or an A exec without having to invest too much.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just that moment there. Out of sync by a second or two, but that's all that matters at this kind of level. Pro play. Team like MIBR have already shown that they're going to capitalize. Forcing this timeout now for 100 Thieves because what was looking so good for them? I mean, the string of rounds they got in that map 2 to bring it all the way to this distance. In the blink of an eye, it's looking like MIBR are back up to that prior form.
The desk were asking the question, what's the mentality for MIBR going to be like? They were up 12-6 and they end up losing in OT 14-12. Surely that's got to do with some level of damage to their confidence or how they approach things, their belief in themselves. It doesn't appear to have. JZZ's playing with all the confidence in the world. Chosen pulls out an incredible 1v2. The mental battle, if anything, is being won here by the team that has nothing to lose.
Yeah.
All the pressure's on 100 Thieves in this match. We've known that from the very beginning.
MIBR letting loose. Adjustments. You can see that Killjoy setup.
Here.
Blocking towards any sort of A take.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to fake some A pressure early on and then just leave the Killjoy holding A. This setup is very weak to a fast C hit, but the Neon's going to be there quickly enough. So from 100 Thieves' perspective, it still feels like the same kind of thing where FRZ and RGL are pushing with that neon stun towards Rubble, which it isn't at all. It's obfuscated by MIBR. They've certainly brought better looks into this game than we've seen from them in a while.
Can't say they haven't been improving, working.
Certainly the work shows, yeah. Prior to this match, though, you really couldn't see the improvements in the match scores. You can now.
Yeah, new life breathed into this MIBR team. Neon, fast rotations for JZA. Can be anywhere.
Can't really tell where 100 Thieves are going, though. It's been quiet, and that's the first piece of info. Immediately pulls out the lockdown.
Yeah, I mean, this is really going to push them now into the B hit. Here's what the stuns are for. JZA, overdrive, right in his hands, but it's met with bullets. The firing squad as well, watching for it, but the smoke fades. Round for the flag, someone's watching, there's no way! FRZ through, right, barreling into the smokes, and it's a flood attempt that pays off. MIBR, massive, massive round.
Look at those pings on the minimap, if you can, just there. 2 red pings from 100 Thieves as their players discuss where it all went wrong. FRZ opened the door. FRZ opened the door from C and just comes in behind them while they're dealing with the neon dashing into their face and the players flooding out from spawn and from heaven. They didn't track that revolving door opening, and FRZ just comes around the side and kills 2. A dagger to 100 Thieves.
Get out of my way.
What a blunder to make. Knocking them again down to the weaker guns. But A ruins control. This time a fight taken. Pound for pound, even with the weaker guns. Chosen makes the most of that, but he will fall. Cryo, again, the player to step up when his team needs it. Those massive moments, they come hand in hand.
And here's the flank.
Murray's, not aware of it.
That is a quick round. It's the first time that 100 Thieves have decided to fight heavy over Rubble control. They might just start doing that repeatedly. They've been given a lot of respect to MIBR so far. They've been allowing RGL and FRZ to just take that space at the beginning of the round and trying to re-clear it later. This time, they barrel towards it, and Cryo's Blade Storm offers him a completely different angle of attack.
You can be much more agile when you're fighting for that deep into A.
Another big clash potentially going to happen here, except that JCC doesn't look like he wants to commit to it. So maybe more of a fake attempt.
It's disrespecting of the util.
Already you can see that MIBR are scared of it, though. They have one clash towards Rubble that doesn't go their way, and now fake it and pull all the way back.
The positioning is definitely important to take into account because they are playing much more adaptive. The stun. Dash. Cryo survives. He's alive, the one way. Door rotates, but RGL knows that there's nobody there. Spam into the wall as the orb was being picked up.
Nearly.
Danger. Definitely danger.
And Chosen is ready for this pivot into B.
Look at it. The util. Well, that's broken.
Good anticipation from Derek, realizing that that would be there.
Hearing the potential sound cues. What options open up now off of that?
They are still ready. It looks like Murray's is about to rip the Viper's Pit off any kind of contact. Like, Chosen or the turret see anything. Is he going to ult this?
Chosen
Maybe not.
Holding so close. Needs his one. Smoke. Paranoia. Bit of spam as well. Where's the support from the rest of the team? Where are they going to land here? Because it is time running out. Well, it's C.
30 seconds left.
Ulting. Regrouping with the rest of his team now. It is that free sight.
And Murray's did not invest the ultimate, worried about C. And instead, it's the Viper's Pit that goes down from Stella.
Into the back of the side as well. Playing this together. MIBR.
Spike planted.
Left wondering how do they clear this one out? Well, for now, just looking to avoid it. The rotation now over towards Waterfall.
And Derek is causing problems. He just broke the turret on B, pulling everybody back towards him. Morris goes down.
Really critical with Morris falling.
I think this is going to be a save here.
Don't have the pit, and they're just trying to deal with Derek the entire time. Dropping to the floor, but yeah.
I don't see how you can get back into it this. Stella's pit is so good. The mid-rounding finally finds some success from 100 Thieves. They struggled with it a lot on Pearl. I mean, to be honest, all day. If we're going to be real.
Derek does buy enough time as well. He was that nuisance towards the back, just floating around, lurking, firing shots off.
And this round, I really do want to hit again that Stella's mid-rounding was excellent. They go over towards A, and that's kind of pre-planned. MIBR have got 3 players ready there to collect. And then they have 2 players waiting for the pivot into B. That would be the most natural conclusion of a failed A hit, is to break that door, run through to B. And instead, 100 Thieves back all the way out into their spawn, continue to pressure A, and use the Omen ult from Bang to reconnect with the squad on C. I really like the pathing there, and they found the weak site, able to win a post plan. This is another huge clash of
They still want to fight it. This time there's a paranoia behind it. Much more bite.
Bye-bye!
Yeah, teleporting away, and they're skipping and hopping to the C site. This is where it theoretically should be weaker. There's a call that's made. You can see the rotations already happening. MIBR chasing them down. Going to try and meet them here. It's up to Chosen. He needs to try and deny this one as well. Any sort of space of his utility inside the smoke. That's it! That's a bit of an overheat. Spam there. Gives up his life. Lockdown. Respect has to be shown. An evacuation away to the edges now of the site. It's a free plant, but already this flank occurring on every single front. Down towards Mound. Cryo loses his fight. It's a Viper's pit. Into the back of it. JCZ is spotted though. Staying alive now, just trying to buy time for the rest of his team to get into the site. The ball and kill, and Bang doesn't get it. Derek cleans it up though, left up to 2. Stella,
He's got to go huge.
so much to do, doesn't hit the transfer, only the 1. A repeat, but smoked off. It's pinged out. Derek comes down to hopes that he can just land the shots here. Tapping away, spraying down, but Evangel's just not good enough for the job here. Fully stuck out. And MIBR, they swing around.
Arsena's overheat into the smoke is a tragic way to start that. 100 Thieves have struggled in the post plant so much because they so rarely find themselves in favored situations.
Finished.
This round,
Outstanding.
MIBR are behind them, up towards spawn, in waterfall. They just control so much of the map. And Chosen plays his life really well, something that 100 Thieves have struggled with. I think they're committing another 4 players here. After that one round where 100 Thieves got some value, MIBR have been throwing bodies in.
This time, it's sprayed through the angle. Morris is brought down. Trailblazer's broken though. 100 Thieves. You're going to start to think twice now about fighting this? The answer's no. Paranoia. Flash rips across, but it's still a hard task ahead of them. How do you battle this one? Stella's cut up. Smoke to get him out. He does leave.
Toxins going up.
Again, similar calls made. A lot of presence being shown towards Deep A there. They know that MIBR were fighting it. Only this time, it's Chosen with his own lockdown. This is pushing them back. 100 Thieves. Bang, you are getting eviscerated there. The spray as well. They're trying to fight this one. Bang's in the end of the plan, but he has to get out of there. What's the detainment? What's it looking like? Everyone's caught! And Cryo, he has to protect! He has to protect, and he does! The Guardian Angel! And a critical error again, it swings hands! What's that, Josh? What is that?
100 Thieves have never had a hero like Cryo before. He is single-handedly, metaphorically on Paul, but quite literally here on Lotus, single-handedly keeping their playoff dreams alive. I can't believe that.
That's
4
ridiculous.
players detained. And he's like, yeah, don't worry, boys, I got it.
Oh my God. He stepped up. No one can deny that. It's obvious. Jump spot over. No one on the angle. A different flavor to 100 Thieves beginning. Looking now towards C. One way though. Oh boy. Spotting it. Spam. Only Chosen taking contact though. It doesn't give them too much more info. 100 Thieves. Will they read that this is being stacked? Taking their time with it. Sometimes patience can be key when you're up against the weaker buy, but this time enough presence is shown, and yeah, they do get out of there. They don't make the mistake of committing hard. Moving away around. They don't actually have any of that prior control towards A or B.
It doesn't look too dangerous. Only Chosen here with 20 HP in a classic. 100 Thieves should be able to get an easy one through. The paranoia hits, the flash hits.
Like you said, not too much danger there.
30
Good
seconds
use
left.
to clear through into the back of the site. But be careful with your 100 Thieves not to give away too much, even though the money is quite good. It should be an easy round.
Even if 100 Thieves convert this, and even if they won all the rest of the attacking rounds, this has still been an extraordinary turnaround for the defense side for MIBR.
Yeah. Can be hard pressed about 6 rounds.
Not at all.
For shorties.
Bullying Morris in the pit. But like I said, MIBR, despite the manner in which they lost round 9, in that crazy lockdown play, despite that, MIBR is sitting pretty here with the lead. And MIBR go for a timeout. Cryo is currently sat at 11 kills with the Blade Storm ready to go into the next.
Scout destroyed.
We'll take a look at some of these replays. But I'm still just thinking about the lockdown play.
The lockdown play,
Standing.
but also the fact that, you know, it's been incredible heroics from 100 Thieves. Some good calling as well from Stella. Don't get me wrong, adapting for this.
But mostly
Lotus, mostly heroics, yeah, don't get me wrong. Lotus as a map, though, does trend itself towards being attack sided. I mean, MIBR, they've made this more than respectable with 6 rounds, and now taking the time, attack pause.
The crowd knows who their hero is. And I think for a player that's so young and still doesn't have a huge amount of experience, for Cryo this year, it started out with a lot of difficulty. I think sometimes for players that are naturally humble, it can be difficult to believe in your own hype. And some of that imposter syndrome and the weight of expectations settles down heavy upon your shoulders. It felt like that's what we were seeing from Cryo early on in the season.
Yeah.
And now he's got that belief in himself back. And he's just hitting insane form in this match. They're still down though. MIBR, 7 rounds away from sending 100 Thieves out of the playoffs and securing each spot. That is a tricky little Odin angle that Asuna is spamming. Almost caught JCZ out, but only did a fraction of damage.
That is cheeky. Anyone
I like
trying
it.
to play off of that, yeah.
And
Sometimes it
he
feels like
drops
this
it.
map is made of paper.
Look, he drops it. And so he's still only got a Phantom moving forwards. He doesn't want to use the Odin for the entire round. Cute play when you're stacked with money, flush with cash.
Oh my goodness! JZZ returning to fire, MIBR collapsing on them. They choose to fight it. They give him control of the front side of Ruins. There's the adaptation, and it's made manifest.
Last round.
So many of
for
these
the
rounds have
Swift.
just come down to fights in rubble.
Yeah, I mean, it's just over like that.
Did not anticipate JCC playing that one so aggressive. But RGL was swinging through the breakable door at the same time.
Yeah.
And everyone was stunned.
The timing there is really good to take. It's awkward when you're on the attack side and you're just trying to get set up a little bit through this spike wall
Look at
here.
this stun.
Yeah, the stun's amazing.
Paranoia.
One enemy
Every bit of utility is used by MIBR.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Really well played.
That is superbly done. And we're straight back into the next. Another clash early towards rubble. The whole map has been defined by the fights in this area. And Cryo's got the AWP on attack. It won't limit him too much because he's got the Blade Storm in his back pocket too.
Last chance in his half. Will it be 7-5 or will it be
Get out of my
8-4
way.
once again?
I love the adaptations that MIBR have got. They're so dynamic in terms of how they're playing the defense side. They're already over towards B. Chosen, his hat almost showing.
Cryo's hoping for a peek. Anything.
Yeah.
Little bit of info.
Here.
That's a nano popped early. No alarm bot for info.
Does force them to peek for information. Right into the crosshair, but Cryo
I've got your
doesn't land it. No reactions. So does JZZ. Still moving forwards. That's a good way to capitalize and instantly answer with a 4-on-4 now. It's going to be the post-plant setup for 100 Thieves.
Spike planted.
Hang's holding the ultimate right into the back of their spawn. This could be
Is he sticking
the extra layer. Yeah, he is.
Oh my god.
Seekers
But the
are used, though.
Seekers,
He's spotted.
he's popped that before the Seekers are used.
He should break it and stay alive. It's going to cause distractions, but MIBR know that they can just play this fast.
He's so
Everyone's
far
locked up,
away.
Everyone's in tree, and yeah, he's miles away. He's got to be just sprinting for this one, gliding past. It's awkward, it's scrappy, it's messy, and it's left up to 2. Asuna and Derek, they land their shots, sticking it on to half the way. They take it. It's 7-5,
Switching
and maybe it's
sides.
enough to get it done.
Truly an incredible end to the regular season, no matter which direction this goes. Bang's ult into spawn throws a massive wrench into the plans, but Derek and Asana's individual ability claws that one out.
That's what I mean, it's all about that. Just their ability to hold their ground here, stay alive. Asana's on 30 health. He's been jumping right-clicked. He hits a nasty shot.
And then swings with the shorty to close things out. Is this doable?
That's going to be the question, isn't it? All lands onto this. Final half here. To the distance for the series. Our last match of that regular season. 100 Thieves versus MIBR. And it's that playoffs. That is what 100 Thieves are hunting for, hoping for. Start to the pistol, Josh.
And it looks like it's going to be pacey to start. JZC instantly working his way forwards as RGL goes for a TP over to Rubble. So they take early control. Is that an area that 100 Thieves are going to fight over? Probably not as much with the Jet rather than the Neon.
Whoa.
That's just classic spam.
JZT wants to take the fight to him. Look at that, gliding. This is not lacking the confidence. He lands a shot.
He's looked so clean on Neon today.
And now they look to collapse. Maybe enter themselves onto the A side to spam through the box there. This is getting pulled apart. So important.
They've heard two footsteps fall into sight. They know that there's at least a couple of players here on A.
Now they've slowed it down. Hitting the rotating door. Cryo needs to watch this one, but without the dash, it's so risky. Double face, double swing, and all the way through. It's Asana looking to collect, looking to try and at least salvage it, but he can't do it. And only Bang. It's up to him. Damage done to JZZ, but it's a 1v4. MIBR
Spike planted.
in the driving seat now to take this pistol round home. Crossfire setup. Forcing the fight there. Bang isolates it, but no. Not enough to claim a second. It's shut down before it can even begin.
And that is MIBR's fourth pistol win of the series. 4 out of 6 fall into their hands. And that's incredibly important for them. I mean, 2 on Fracture, 2 on Lotus, and they still got up to 12 on the second map as well. This puts enormous pressure upon 100 Thieves, but they already dealt with a ton of that on Pearl. They had all the pressure in the world on their shoulders then.
Might have to do it all over again. Losing that pistol round, it set them stumbling. How do they regain the footing? MIBR. Straight towards A. Door rotations.
I'm out of here.
It's a clinical split. Zella's gonna get isolated towards the back. Pushed out, taken out. Should be a plant easily done. Okay. An exchange of the fire. There's a gun there towards the back and a flank occurring, but Murs is watching it. Bought the rifle. Maybe damage. It's going to be the goal here for 100 Thieves. You can see already with the positioning of Asana rotating all the way around.
And honestly, I think these are some of the times where you just want to slow things down and allow the rest of your team to take a
One
breath.
enemy remaining.
Maybe discuss, or even just quietly yourselves mentally reinforce and visualize what your game plan is for the rest of these defending rounds. Because there is pressure, and then there's pressure. And this match has had it. For this 100 Thieves squad, MIBR playing free, playing loose. The subs at the top of the scoreboard kind of vibes.
Yeah.
Running around with Neon kind of vibes.
Yeah, no weight on their shoulders with the way they've been playing. Chosen at the top, 13-5. The desk was talking about it. It's Match and Cryo in terms of his output. This is a round that 100 Thieves need to win.
This is early and aggressive from Cryo and Asana at B. Trying to stop Chosen from taking that orb. They've done it for the moment. Does Chosen have the experience to realize that aggression is coming through? Cryo, with a lot of respect, just breaks the turret and backs up. The door opens as JZZ threatens a backstab. So, okay, MIBR stabilize.
It's Mares who's gained all that control towards A. He's been lurking most of this round, entering around the minute mark.
Poison orb.
Someone on the A site. 100 Thieves, I think, hoping that they can push them into the B hit here. There's a lot of util there in the connector. Is it popped off? Nano Swarm doesn't trunk him all the way down.
What a lurk.
While he's been lurking. Found value with it.
What a timing for him to find.
Now doubled up. Oh, he sees the
Spike
angle Stella.
planted.
It's been watchful.
JCC's watching
He's
it.
got it. He handles it. Stella too distracted.
This bonus round would be devastating for 100 Thieves to lose.
And it's fallen to pieces, but maybe something can be scrapped together. Bang gets it. The call's made to save.
Oh, that is a tough call to make.
Really hard. But they had no control of the map. You've got to keep the guns. If you lose this entirely, you're looking at the map and the series snowballing away. Really hard to call, though.
And Stella's got good money, so they're still going to be able to force around this. It'll just be Asuna that can't really afford too much. But yeah, this is such a tough call. They just choose to retreat. Can the guns be taken away?
Nice one-way. Defensive.
No, but in the end, all of these 100 Thieves players that decided to save keep their rifles going forwards. But this is a 5-round deficit, and 100 Thieves, they're going to need to respond now. They can't allow this to get up to 12-6 and rely on some level of miracle comeback again. You don't get those every map.
No.
You shouldn't be getting those multiple times a week, but here we are. What a timing from Chosen, though. He was the player getting pressured at the beginning of the round and just lurks his way up, all sneakily through B, past the Killjoy utility. With nary a response from 100 Thieves.
I'm out of here.
One way in their face. MIBR. Mountain control. As the orb gets picked up, so does the wall get propped up in their face.
Same idea again. Trailblazer traded for turret at the start of the round. I'm not sure how valuable that is, especially when
I got Spike.
Chosen just found a timing to lurk through B in the prior.
Go, go, go.
Same response here from MIBR. The B aggression, they counter that by opening this revolving door. Anybody that was pushed forwards on the defense
Scout
side on B
destroyed.
would have to respect that and back up. But they don't even trade any utility to push Asuna and Cryo away. And look at Murray's Viper setup. It is so difficult for 100 Thieves to get info behind
I've got
this.
your
Crowd
trail.
can't see anything.
Toxin screen.
Murray's just looking up. Here's it being picked up. Spam onto the corner. Doesn't get out. Didn't expect Murray's to be that deep inside of his own smoke. With Cryo falling,
Turrets destroyed.
the spearhead and more is gone away from 100 Thieves now attempting this. 4-on-4 though.
Toxin screen down.
Anything could happen, but this post-plant setup by MIBR is just so difficult to break. There's no flank attempt. Usually that's the thing that breaks it. Everybody coming from the back of the site. Gun duels. Maybe just a bit of luck right through the smokes. Spammed, paranoia, cycling the utility. MIBR, they have answers for every situation, but do you have answers for the guns? Asuna lands his shot. Watch for. RGL's noted, spotted, spammed, through the smoke. One more left to do, one more left to clean up. Derek, he's trying to isolate, he can't do it. Absolutely magnificent.
They're bowing to him. RGL all day today has just been unbelievable. What a performance, what a clutch. An attack timeout there taken as 100 Thieves mentally collect themselves. The way that RGL plays is the crosshair placement on the kill on Asuna. Oh my, it's sublime. This is what he was doing at the start of the year. And then for whatever reason, internally, MIBR imploded. Week kind of 3 onwards, it was just a shell of themselves in absolute freefall. And they've revived at the perfect time to drag 100 Thieves out of playoffs with them.
Yep. Like an anchor latched to their ankles. If 100 Thieves lose this, it'll be EG, the descent into that top 6, into the playoffs.
2 rounds away from a terrible failure to meet expectations from 100 Thieves. Everybody had them winning this game. Massive favorites, despite the fact that 100 Thieves haven't played the best Valorant all split long, but they looked like they were on the up and up. And MIBR on a 10-map loss streak prior to this match. It just looked like an alley-oop slam dunk.
Yep. Should have been the easy path.
MIBR have made it anything but.
This is rocky, shaky. We've already seen 100 Thieves come back in a near impossible scenario just in the last map. But to do it twice in a row, no, that takes something else entirely.
There's the stun lineup that Leaf was using when he plays on this map. And this looks like the NRG play. They're looking for that player where they're going to throw the Paranoia and upgrab dash onto them.
Here we go. Door opens up. Paranoia as well. Through the smoke, a bit of spam. Maybe they can get granted a kill. Or is there? The Bullet's finding it. Stella, his job, hold control of Heaven here. The flash in his face dodges it. Snakebite as well. He knows that they're going to be capitalizing and pushing. There's being watched though. He does have somebody's back. Another Snakebite. This is a vulnerable. Can't win the fight. It's an exchange. It's the bait and switch. RGL moving from the position. The overdrive Asuna around the back. 2 versus 2. Bang. To get defused. Has to get off a bit. Dodge to the side and return. It's a trade. And again, staying alive.
Bang on B with the clutch. It was him that pulled out the miraculous 1v3. The 100 Thieves to get that crucial victory over Leviathan. That's even put them in this spot, by the way, where they have the map differential and the 4 wins that could see them in 4th place. If only they could mount a comeback right here. But MIBR are still in the driver's seat, and it's 2 Spectres into this round. 3 Spectres in the round. 1 onto Cryo.
How do you win this?
The weaponry is so poor.
It's got to be 1 round at a time, but
they're hoping Cryo can get this orb. They were hoping that flash connected with nobody, and he could get his Blade Storm online.
But now he has to watch it. The gun is not good for it. Slow. MIBR waiting it out. A risk to be taken there.
And now Cryo knows he's not going to get away with that one for free. But he's also kind of paralyzing MIBR. They don't want to give up that orb. So they're not really taking any control of the map just yet. Murray's continues to walk forwards. He's been very active on these Viper lurks on A side. Opens up the tree door and is going to keep a couple of people rooted on A.
Flash and a dog. That's going to be Bang using his ult just to gather information. It's broken. Only one seen. Bido. Seemed like it could have been the goal, but actually MIBR all over the place. Going through the connector.
What?
Going to be matching them. Asuna
Just caught out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, what? Expecting them to pivot, I think, maybe towards A, but false information or what? I'm not too sure. It's put them in an even dire circumstance. The Viper's pit. It's just not impossible. Jumping through. It has to be coordinated. Cryo's met. 3 players swarming his position. They bring him down. Bullets raining this way, that way. Chosen the timing. Bang, around the back. The pit has granted him this. 21 bullets. Spam. Onto that corner. Whiting. Round the corner, Derek. He's removed. Everyone falls. MIBR. They bring it to 12.
Not only are they up to match point, 1 round away from eliminating 100 Thieves from playoffs, but it is scraps. It is nothing that 100 Thieves are working with. A Blade Storm, and it's going to be the roughest of buys. Stingers and Bulldogs and Sheriffs abound. Asuna caught out in the open, and it's devastation. Potter, I think you can bring out the champagne again. Pop the cork.
Last time
Get Demon 1 and Ethan out there. It's 12-6 again.
It is 12-6 again. And all of it stands on this 1 round. Will we see that extension of play for 100 Thieves, or is it MIBR who complete the upset? Send them back down, spiraling to the bottom of the standings. And EG granted that spot.
In some sense, this is going to be the most difficult one. If 100 Thieves were to mount a comeback, they would at least be getting the economy going. Oh, that was Stella looking to take a fight, knocked down to 9 HP. He can be healed, but look at what they're working with again. It's 3 Stingers, a Blade Storm, and a Bulldog.
It's nothing at all. And I might be out of way to play in these attack side rounds. It's so slow, cautious. But
their
it picks and
hearts must be
pulls
racing.
and pushes the rotations. And you got to imagine. Exactly, Josh. Hearts racing in this moment. It all comes down to this. Derek. Spray down. Stinger has to reload. It's watchful in the back there. Bang. Containing. Murray's moving forwards. Asuna's still alive. In the fight, in the action. Not enough bullets. Whips out the pistol. He can't get it online. Lockdown. Pushing them back and away.
They can go to B here.
Exactly what they're going to do. The door opens up. Cryo misses his timing. Look, chance for Murray's. Here's 2 of them. holding it close. Does it get cleared? Round to it. Morris lands the shot. That could be the death blow. Could be it. It's cleaned up though. 3 on 3. Will Cryo do the most? Will he do the most? Once again. Kill found, but again, containment there. Lockdown placed. He knows the positioning of them. They move around, but again, that close angle. This, play forwards, the right click. Time running out. Pushing it back. Meister dodging. He's earned the up. Cancels it. Not detained. Someone has to stick this. Someone has to cover. It's Derek to watch him, and it does it. Surviving. The presence of mind with all the stress. To prioritize the ultimate onto Derek as well. Too close for comfort, Josh.
What composure. But beads of sweat running down the brow. A nervous relief from 100 Thieves, the only emotion available to them right there. Another enormous round from Cryo, though. The kill that he grabs onto Chosen and the right click to deny the player pushing off Paranoia. And that might have been the most difficult round. Now it's all about consistency, which in itself seems almost impossible. 6 chances whittled down to 5. We've been here before.
Been here before, but to do it back to back. So unlikely. The full focus of 100 Thieves, 1 round at a time.
They're anticipating the A-lean from MIBR. C is extraordinarily open.
That's where the team is leading.
Poison's off.
Trailblazer broken. They want to hunt down Morris. Snakebite at his feet. Blocks off the angle. Damage done. There it is. Bang disrespects it.
Well played. That's a good read on what Morris has been doing. He's been so active on those A-lurks.
But they've had to give up the C site.
And now it's all about the retake. I think on these kind of retakes, you need to be sending somebody through either the B door or through Mound.
It comes down to this, doesn't it?
MIBR are already anticipating that and pushing.
Aggressive fight. Flash. Dodge. Round the side. Cryo. Spraying a little bit of extra. Another flash to push them away and push them back. Time becoming a problem. You got to hunt down these kills. There's smoke in their face that they have to clean through. Lined up. A retake of waterfall. It might just all tumble. It might just all fall. 100 Thieves. You got to collect the kills with the utility. Chosen. He's blocked them off. It's a scramble. Everything on the line for it. Chosen. You got to stick it. Chosen spraying. Spray tonight. No way. Off of it all. He's the hero in this scenario. And 100 Thieves have been denied.
Attackers win.
This game has had it all, but I did not see it ending with Chosen getting a knife kill.